Championship Central with a theme song for the 2012 season. Kickoff as Joe Flacco and Ed Reed, the captains, out on the field for the coin toss to set up the kickoff. And of course, kickoff has become a four-letter word this year in the NFL preseason because, Stan, kickoff has turned into touchback, and that has turned into the snooze button.
Yeah, they're going to need that song to keep it interesting during kickoffs this year because it's going to change the way the game is put together, the team is put together. It's certainly going to change who you dress on game day. And until it gets cold and the wind starts blowing, it's going to affect who is even on the squad, who makes the 53-man squad, because you don't need as many special team cover guys as you did in the past.
And you can't make a play cue if you're a rookie and the ball is going out of the back of the end zone.
Certainly you cannot, but I will say this, that special teams coaches, they're one of those mad scientist type of guys. They're going to find a way to kind of bend the rules, if you will, to get their guys like a Devin Hester, like a Joshua Cribbs, the ball in their hands and take advantage of one of the most exciting plays in all of football.
And before the coaches can figure out how to bend the rules, they're going to bend their game plan. Ravens special teams coordinator Jerry Rosburg says he has no intention tonight of just letting the ball sail in and out of the end zone. He wants to figure out a way to put the kick return back into tonight's game.
I felt strongly before, and I even feel more strongly now, that we're losing too much football. Going into the game, I really didn't like the rule change, but I understood the reason for it, and I respect the reason for it. At the same time, that play is a very valuable play in football. It changes games. It turns field position. Turnovers are involved, and I think it's going to have a profound effect on the way football is played. If it's just a tee it up and kick it to the 20, and everybody races downfield, and it's just exercise at that point.
And at this point in training camp, the last thing Jerry Rosburg wants for his players is more exercise. He wants more execution, and that's what he hopes to see tonight. The Ravens won the opening coin toss and have elected to defer. That plays in exactly to what Jerry Rosburg is talking about. They want Billy Cundiff to kick this ball high and short to Quentin Lawrence, and see if they can't force a return, because they want to find out which of the young players on this kickoff team has a spot on the roster based on what he can do. They know Billy Cundiff can kick the ball out of the end zone. Stanley did it 40 times last year.
Yeah, went from the 30-yard line. So here it's going to be that much either. He put about 75% in the end zone last year. But sooner or later, it's going to get cold. The ball's not going to travel. You're going to be kicking into the wind. You're going to have to cover some kicks this year.
Quentin Lawrence is deep. Billy Cundiff's footed to the ball, and we are underway. And Billy Cundiff didn't exactly play along. He didn't hit it high and short. He hit it high and long.
He tried to kick it short, but he hit the sweet spot.
When you're Weapon X, you don't try to just, finesse it. You're trying to just power it through the end zone. Come on now.
Matt Castle at the helm for the Kansas City Chiefs in his third year as the Chiefs starter. Big year last year as a Pro Bowler. Only threw 7 interceptions, but against the Ravens in the playoffs, he was picked off 3 times. Jamal Charles and LeRon McClain in the backfield. LeRon McClain wearing number 44 with the Kansas City Chiefs. McClain is alone in the backfield, and he'll carry on first down, and he won't get very far. Terrence Cody wraps him up after a gain of 2.
I would think that the Ravens want to put the wood to LeRon real early in the game. I know when you play against an old team, you want to do well, but that team wants to stop you too.
LeRon McClain, Kelly Gregg, Jared Gaither, 3 former Ravens, now with Kansas City. Don't know if we'll see Gaither. He missed practice time this week, raising speculation that his back has not fully healed. McClain and Charles in the backfield. And this time, it's Jamal Charles with nowhere to run, and Kerry Williams first on the hit before Charles sneaks forward across the 25-yard line. The starting defense for the Ravens tonight. Up front, Haloti Ngata, Terrence Cody, and Corey Redding. The linebacking core will not have Ray Lewis, as we mentioned, away on family matters. Jameel McClain and Donnell Ellerby in the middle. Suggs and Johnson on the edge. And in the secondary, Dominic Foxworth and Chris Carr getting the official start. Ed Reed and Zibikowski are at safety. Kerry Williams and Jimmy Smith are in right now at corner on 3rd and 5. Castle throws, testing Smith, and what a catch by Dwayne Bowe against the rookie first-round draft pick to reel it in for a first down.
Wow. Whoa, welcome to the NFL, Jimmy Smith. Dwayne Bowe, certainly very talented wide receiver, but this is man on man. He got a great jam on him. But see, in the NFL, maybe college that would have been incomplete, maybe possible interception, but
In
Wayne Bowe
college-
is very talented
In
wide
college,
receiver.
they wouldn't even have thrown that ball in college.
True
Too. You know, he's throwing it because he saw Jimmy Smith was not looking at the quarterback, was looking away.
1st and 10. Give it to Charles. Tries to cut it up between the hash marks. Gets to the 41-yard line for a gain of 2. Terrell Suggs with excellent pursuit on the play.
That's because he's fast and he's big and he's strong. But tell you what, he comes down that line of scrimmage. When you cut back, you're going to hit that man mountain coming down from the other side.
Terrell Suggs has never made the Pro Bowl in back-to-back seasons. He's always done it on even years. 2008, 2010. He's gone 4 times to the Pro Bowl, but he'd like to do it this year for the first time in back-to-back years. Dexter McCluster coming out of the backfield. Castle throws, far side, incomplete. And that time it was Ed Reed running into Bowe. And Bowe might be able to pull some savvy on a rookie corner, but he's not going to pull much on Ed Reed.
Yeah, Ed Reed, one of the smartest players in the NFL. And, boy, I tell you what, that might have been a little miscommunication. I think the quarterback, Matt Castle, trying to get rid of the football real quick. A lot of pressure up in his face by Big Corey Reddy.
He had to get rid of it. And they were baiting that. That was going to be a pick.
3rd down and 7 for the Chiefs from their 42. And flags as a false start will back Kansas City up 5 yards.
Yeah, they knew that they were going to come back to Bowe.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So a different defensive call will come in now by Chuck Pagano.
Yeah, on the previous play, you know, they threw the little stop pattern to a little hitch. So they come back to the companion, a little slant on it, and the Ravens were ready. I mean, Ed, they looked like a blitz, and Ed was playing that inside break.
3rd down and 12. Opening drive of the ball game. Castle goes with the inside handoff. And Dexter McCluster will just weave his way forward for a couple of yards out to the 41. And the punt team comes on for Kansas City. Much better opening drive for the Ravens defense tonight than a week ago in Philadelphia.
Yeah, a week ago, I think it was about knocking the rust off. Certainly you didn't have the typical offseason due to the labor issues, but this is what you want to expect if you're Chuck Pagano and the defensive coordinator making calls, going out there and having your guys doing what he needs to do and what they need to do to stop the team.
Dustin Colquitt on the punt to Lardarius Webb. Colquitt hangs a high one. And Webb will field it at the 15. He fumbles the ball, and it's going to be Kansas City Chiefs recovering at the 14-yard line. So just like that, a great defensive stand is going to turn into another defense on the field situation because Lardarius Webb gets stripped of the ball.
Right there, Lardarius should have fair caught it. If you're a returner and you're trying to make a play, first thing you do is you look down and see where the first guy's coming at you. Houston was right in position. He should have fair caught it and just stayed right there. Trying to make something out of nothing actually cost him in that.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get it secured. He had it in both hands, but he didn't get the nose of the football covered. And so when it got hit, it popped right out. So he was trying, you know, like preseason, too many guys try to do too many things.
Fumble punt by Lardarius Webb gives the Chiefs the ball. 1st and 10 at the 15 of the Ravens. Jamal Charles tries to pick his way through a crowd, gets a couple. Down to about the 13-yard line.
Good fill by Jarrett Johnson. That's a little counter play. And they pulled the guard from the backside, faked one way. The guard's supposed to kick out Jarrett Johnson, and Jarrett just squeezed it down where he could make the play. He's on the right side of your screen. Look at boom. That's a big guy, too. Squeezed it down and came off and helped make the tackle. That's a heck of a play by an outside linebacker to take on a 300-and-some-pound guard.
Charles the deep back. Moyaki the tight end in motion. Castle to throw with time, and his pass is incomplete inside the 10-yard line. Jarrett Johnson again there with the coverage.
Jarrett Johnson there, but also Ed Reed. I think what separates Ed from the rest of the league, he knows where you're going before you know where you're going. Does an excellent job of pattern recognition.
Yep. And he's
getting in there and knocking the ball away from the receiver. This makes it look routine, but I promise you, very difficult to do. One of the special
third
players
down,
in the league.
Castle's pass is caught by Bowe, but they will wave it off and say he did not have possession. And once again, Ed Reed in the neighborhood. That's the kind of guy you want to have in the neighborhood when you're down in the Heinz red zone.
And he knew that he was going to get pressure. A free blitzer coming here. Castle had to throw it away. Jarrett Johnson coming free. As you see, Dwayne Bowe really wasn't ready for that football. And then Jimmy Smith hit him. And the fact that he wasn't ready and got hit, the ball popped out.
Ryan Suckup will try a 31-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark. Off the heels of the Lardarius Webb fumble. And Suckup's kick is right down the middle. 10:57 to play in the first quarter. KC strikes first, 3-0 on the Ravens. Minutes to play in the opening quarter at M&T. Track the Ravens with the NFL Mobile. Text NFL to 8915 to download today. Only from Verizon, official wireless service provider of the Baltimore Ravens. So the Lardarius Webb punt fumble turns into a Ryan Suckup 31-yard field goal. And now we'll see if the Chiefs try to alter their kickoff strategy to Jalen Parmalee. Will they go high and short or long and deep?
Well, the other thing is you're going to see a lot of teams run the ball out 8 and 9 yards deep. Regular season, I don't think you will, but I think they will now just to get work on the kick returns also.
Jalen Parmalee sets about 6 yards deep in the end zone, awaiting the Ryan Suckup kickoff. And Suckup will send this one about 8 yards deep, and Parmalee brings it out across the 10 into a wall, and he's going to be stopped at the 14-yard line.
Advantage Kansas City.
3-0 Chiefs in front of the Ravens. Joe Flacco on the field for the first time tonight on the Ravens game day. 3-0 Chiefs in front of the Ravens. Here in the first quarter at M&T. Ravens fans go for 2 all season long with Papa John's 2-point conversion. That's 2 large, 2-topping pizzas for just $10 each. Call or click papajohns.com to order. We are going upscale here in the broadcast booth. Not only do we get pizzas, we get visitors as well. Bob Billman, Operations Vice President from Papa John's. What'd you bring us, Bob?
We brought you a couple of pizzas. We're celebrating kicking off the football season this year.
What kind?
Are they
What
mushroom?
kind?
There we go. 2-point
Sausage
conversion.
and pepperonis. What's a guy got to do?
For what?
Mushroom.
How about here?
How about chicken?
We have mushroom right here.
Oh,
Yes, I love this guy. My
Where's
new
the
best friend.
barbecue? You're a vice president. I need barbecue chicken. Come on.
No, you took mushrooms. You're president as far as I'm concerned now. Hey, tell us about the 2-point conversion all year.
Right now, 2 pizzas, 2 toppings, $10 each when you buy 2 or more.
How about we give Stan the pepperoni?
There you go.
Stand that way.
I
need
finally
some
had
chicken,
this one in
I'm
the
telling you.
Papa Rewards points.
My wife
Basically,
likes
I
this.
better share with you.
Better take your wife and make her happy.
I will. Yeah.
Buy more pizzas, get free pizzas from us at Papa John's, Papa's Rewards. Order online and get discounts all year long throughout the season.
Bob Billman, we greatly appreciate the visit and the
you.
mushroom pie.
You betcha. 7 years is great.
First down run attempt for the Ravens will net just a couple of yards for the Ravens. They're backed up. And Joe Flacco has to work from inside his 20 after Jalen Parmalee tried to run the kickoff out deep from inside the end zone. So guys, kickoff special teams continue to be the conundrum of the preseason.
Certainly the conundrum. You know that it's very difficult if you're an offense having to go 80-plus yards as opposed to getting great field position because you have a great kickoff return.
Ray Rice in the backfield, 2nd down and 8. Flacco with a patient play call, throws quickly near side. Anquan Bolden jukes his way out close to the 20-yard line, where the Ravens will look at a 3rd and about 5. Take another look at this one, Q.
Well, it's all about the quick game. I think that's one thing that Cam Cameron wanted to bring to the offense. A nice little quick route to get out to Anquan Bolden. Strong run after the catch, putting it 3rd and manageable.
First 3rd down conversion opportunity for the Ravens tonight. 3rd down and a long 4. Just shy of their 20. Rice the lone back. Chiefs are bringing a blitz up the middle. Flacco slant pattern, and it is complete to the newcomer, Lee Evans, with a first down out to the 32-yard line.
Boy, I wish he would have had one more step because he'd have been flying down the middle of the field. Just good timing, because this is one of the hardest patterns to time up, Q, that quick slant with a new guy. That was perfect.
Absolutely, and again, it's all about the quick game. 2 quick passes to put your team in position to move the chains.
1st and 10 for the Ravens. Ball at their 32. Leach and Rice in the eye. Little power run here for Ray Rice, and he has nowhere to go. He'll lose a yard back to the 31-yard line. Take a look at the starting lineups for the Ravens tonight. You saw Lee Evans with his first reception, paired with Anquan Bolden. Ed Dixon getting his first start of the preseason. Leach and Rice, the tandem in the backfield. Up front, Madison is the center. Cousins and Grubbs the guards. Michael Orr and the rookie, third-round pick Ja Reed. He'll probably play the entire game at the right tackle tonight.
Kelly Gregg on the tackle for the loss.
Second down and 11. Flacco to throw. Pocket collapsing, and Flacco's in trouble. And he unloads to Ray Rice, who somehow comes open in a crowd and gets the ball out close to the first down. He had to get to the 42. He'll be about 6 inches shy.
People talk about Joe Flacco and trying to criticize him and whether or not he's an elite quarterback. And I know he's had to defend himself, but this shows me an awful lot. Number one, he's going through his progression, not seeing it there. As opposed to panicking and just running around wildly, keeping his eyes upfield and finding his reliable target in Ray Rice, making something out of nothing, and that something is a first down, continually moving the chains.
1st and 10 from the 42. Rice got the favorable spot. Ray Rice will carry. Patient running across the 45 out to the 46 before Tyson Jackson brings him down. That's the hallmark of a veteran running back, Stan, a guy who's willing to be patient and not force it into the line.
Well, he's the guy that gets you out of trouble. This one, there was almost an unblocked man coming through, number 56 for Kansas City, and he did a great job of making a quick cut and avoiding him and making a 5-yard gain out of a 4-yard gain on something that could have been a 1-yard loss. Derek Johnson, who is number 56 for Kansas City.
A year ago, Ray Rice more than 1,200 rushing yards. He wants to become one of the greats, he says, this year. Play action, beautiful fake by Flacco, going deep, looking for Bolden inside the 5, and he can't connect. Anquan Bolden running the deep post pattern, and Joe Flacco could not quite get it to him.
Can we put number 83 in there then? I think Joe Flacco is probably thinking that that would have been touchdown had it been Lee Evans. Certainly taking nothing away from Anquan Bolden, but Anquan Bolden's specialty is not running down the field vertically. I think that's where a play like that is a connection if you have Lee Evans in there.
But he did get behind the free safety.
Oh, no doubt.
That
no
was
question
cover
about
3,
it.
and he was 5 yards behind. That play fake was so good that it opened it up, and he just overthrew him just a little bit.
3rd down and 6 for Joe Flacco out of the shotgun. He's got Bone for first down, Chiefs territory, 35-yard line, and down to the 30-yard line before Kendrick Lewis can bring him down. A 24-yard gain, and the Ravens drive stays alive.
Yeah, one of the toughest things for a defense to do when you're playing man is when they get in a bunch and they cut off of each other, and all of a sudden, nobody took Anquan Bolden. If I had those 3 guys there, I would have made sure that somebody took Anquan Bolden.
Yeah, that was an excellent job by them of good play calling too, but nice block by Ed Dixon there getting in the mix.
And if you're trying to adjust to the numbers, Anquan Bolden is still 81, but Dixon is now 84, Lee Evans is 83. Flacco on first down loses the ball. It has not been whistled dead yet. It's a live ball. Flacco runs for it, can't come up with it, and the Chiefs recover the loose ball at the 48-yard line. Tyson Jackson came up with the loose ball. It was Andy Studebaker who forced the ball loose, and the Chiefs have recovered. And now John Harbaugh has to look at a replay and decide whether or not Flacco was throwing the ball or had it stripped cleanly.
Well, I tell you what, Joe also said just fell on the ball. He tried to pick it up again.
It's going to be ruled an incompletion if Flacco Harbaugh throws the red challenge flag, which he has just done. Because we can see from the replay that Flacco was throwing, his hand was forward, and the ball just came loose at the end of his pump fake.
That's the tuck rule. And the fact that you're at home, they show it on the big screen right away. If we'd have been up in Philadelphia, we never would have seen that.
Gene Steratore will have a short conversation with John Harbaugh and then go under the review hood to take a look at the play. Here's our referee tonight, Gene Steratore.
Baltimore is challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble. Timeout.
And we can predict the Ravens will get the ball back when we get back. Trailing 3-0 on the Ravens game day. Trailing 3-0 first quarter, 6:01 to play. Gene Steratore, the referee, reviewing the called fumble on Joe Flacco. We've seen the replay several times clearly. This is the tuck rule. Flacco at the end of his forward motion with his hand tried to pump fake the ball, lost control of the ball. It came out. That has to be ruled an incompletion. Short viewing for Gene Steratore. Here's what he saw under the replay hood.
After review, the quarterback's arm was moving forward with possession. Therefore, it is an incomplete forward pass. The ball will be placed at the 31-yard line on the left hash mark. Would the game clock operator please reset the game clock to 6 minutes, 9 seconds. It will be 2nd down and 10 Baltimore, and Baltimore will not be charged with the timeout.
No controversy on that decision, but you have to wonder why the officials didn't rule that an
That's the
incompletion at
controversy.
first.
Why do you have to use a red flag for that when it's so obvious? You know,
Well,
I know when you're in doubt, you're supposed to, not call it and let the replay decide. But when it's that obvious, you have to call it. John Harbaugh had to use a red flag on that. Now he's only got maybe one left if he's not right on that one.
If this were September instead of August, you would have a very upset Ravens head coach having to burn his first red flag on what should have been an obvious call from the field. 9 plays, 55 yards so far on this drive. It started back at the 14. Monte Leach and Ray Rice in the backfield, and Flacco wants to throw. Blitz pressure. Flacco comes near sideline, broken up. He was looking for Ed Dixon, and that time the coverage was former first-round pick Eric Berry, a Pro Bowler last year as a rookie.
Yeah, and a guy that a lot of people are comparing to Ed Reed on the way he reads patterns. But this was not a good throw by Joe. He threw it behind Dixon, and when you throw it behind, the safety can come from the middle of the field and almost make the play.
Yeah, certainly I know Joe wants that throw back and should have put it to his outside shoulder.
That's what the point was.
Yeah.
Throw it outside. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Puts the Ravens in a 3rd and 10 situation at the 31-yard line. They'd love to get closer to the end zone and take the lead. Safety blitz coming. Flacco sidesteps it. Throws far sideline and just outside the reach of Ed Dixon. Great bit of footwork by Flacco to avoid the sack, but then he delivered the pass high and incomplete.
Yeah, that's the pocket awareness of Joe, and now Joe knows, man, if I'd have put it to the outside the first time around, we would have been in a better down and distance. But now you're getting that 3rd and long scenario. It favors the defense, and certainly he couldn't get the ball or deliver the ball accurately out to Dixon.
Here comes a free blitzer, and the rule always for a defensive player is never jump when you're unblocked, because he's going to try to fake you with a pump. If you're unblocked, just keep going low and go right through the ball carrier.
Billy Cundiff with a 49-yard field goal attempt to try to tie the game. Sam Cook struggles to get the ball down, and Cundiff's kick is good. And with 5:55 to play in the opening quarter, we are all tied at 3. Joe Flacco's fumble overturned, and Billy Cundiff turns that into a scoring opportunity. 3-3 on the Ravens game. And Hinder on Friday the 9th. There's a bar tour with the Ravens cheerleaders and Poe. Go to BaltimoreRavens.com for more details. 5:55 to play, opening quarter here at M&T. Billy Cundiff's 49-yard field goal has us all tied 3 apiece. The Geico scoring drive, 12 plays, 55 yards, a little more than 5 minutes, comes off the clock. And now let's see if Billy Cundiff can come up with a shorter kickoff. High end over end. Quentin Lawrence backed up 10 yards deep in the end zone, takes a knee, and it's the 2nd touchback on a Billy Cundiff kickoff tonight. So the kickoff still a bit of a snoozer here in the preseason all around. Coaches don't like it, players don't like it, fans aren't that thrilled with it either. Though I would have to say fans are thrilled to be at M&T for their first look at the 2011 Ravens. Had a chance to glimpse the Ravens during a training camp practice here at M&T a couple of weeks ago, but a much more spirited atmosphere tonight. Ravens fans, a closed training camp prevented them from getting to know this team that they'll get their chance now for the next couple of weeks. Matt Castle on first down looking for Bo, and he's got him down the sideline, pushed out of bounds by Jimmy Smith.
Wow.
And the rookie corner is getting a lesson from a Pro Bowl wide receiver that sometimes close is not close enough.
Baptism by fire. I know he's playing a lot of press coverage on Dwayne Bowe. That shows that he's comfortable with that press coverage. But again, college and pro is 2 different things. You're open when you think that you have him that covered. He's still wide open. Quarterbacks are very good at throwing it in some very small windows and tight spaces.
26-yard gain gives the Chiefs a 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 46. Playing to Charles in the backfield. Charles will carry, running to the right. He's across midfield down to the Ravens 49-yard line, a gain of 5.
He runs hard, Jerry. I tell you that. When he gets the ball, he's going full speed. That's when he hits those little gaps, and that's all you have. He is going downhill.
Well, listen in to the hitting on this last play. Jameel McClain delivering that big shoulder pad thwack you heard. Give us to Charles. Check that. Thomas Jones on first down. He'll pick his way down to the 48-yard line. Gain of maybe 2. 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Yeah, actually, Jameel McClain's playing the middle linebacker position, and Donnell Ellerby's playing the will linebacker or weak linebacker position that Jameel usually plays.
Jameel in the middle because of the absence of Ray Lewis. He is not with the team tonight. He is at home tending to a family matter down in Florida. So it's McClain in the middle. On 3rd down, Castle throws, and his pass incomplete. Terry Williams broke it up, intended for Dwayne Bowe. And Williams, a 3rd-year veteran, showing that he's been around a little bit, and he saw what they were doing to Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, absolutely. That little stop route that Dwayne Bowe had been successful with Jimmy Smith on one side, Terry Williams is saying to himself, haha, you can fool the rookie, but you're not going to fool me. Nice job of getting his hands up in between Dwayne Bowe and knocking the ball out of his hands.
Dustin Colquitt with the end-over-end punt. Lardarius Webb, see if he gets to make good. Fields it at the 9. Weaves his way forward to the 10, and he will get no farther than a 1-yard return. Ravens ball when we get back. 4:10 to play first quarter, tied at 3 on the Ravens Game Day Network. Tied at 3 at M&T. 4:10 to play in the opening quarter of tonight's second preseason game. For our radio partners on tonight's simulcast, we want to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Ravens Game Day Network. 4:10 to play, opening quarter. Joe Flacco on the offense back on the field, trying to see if they can't pull ahead from a 3-3 tie with the Chiefs. Certainly a much stronger showing in the first quarter for Chuck Pagano's defense. Now we'll see if Joe Flacco on the offense can't put together back-to-back strong drives. On first down to give is Ricky Williams. His first carry as a Raven out to the 13-yard line, a gain of 3. And you can hear the Ravens fans responding. I think Ravens fans really intrigued to see how Cam Cameron will use Ricky Williams this year.
Cam Cameron called Ricky Williams a football player, a guy who just knows the game, appreciates how to play the game the right way. Certainly had his issues while he was down in Miami, but he himself said he's matured and he is looking forward to being a productive player for the Baltimore Ravens.
Just under 680 yards a year ago, just under 10,000 yards for his career. That time Ricky Williams getting his second carry and showing a little flash of power as he pushes the ball out to the 17. It'll be 3rd down and a long 2 coming up.
Yeah, you say run over your right guard. Well, that's what he did, right? Boom, right over Ben Grubbs and left guard, I guess that would be. But he gets 4 yards a carry on 2 carries. That puts it in 3rd and 2.
Ravens 2 of 3 on 3rd down conversions so far tonight. Ricky Williams in the backfield, Flacco in the gun.
Bunch again.
Williams is also an extremely accomplished receiver. Takes the toss this time, tries to get around the edge, and he won't get there. Taken off his feet by Brandon Carr, shy of the first down marker. Had to get out to about the 20. Yeah, they're going to spot this one just beyond the 18.
I guess the receiver in me is coming out. You had Lee Evans isolated by himself down away from the bunch formation, and the safety and everyone was overloaded to the bunch side. Ricky Williams trying to get to the corner, unable to make it and get the first down. But gosh, I wish there would have been an opportunity to audible out of it and possibly get the ball out to Lee Evans. 3rd and 2, run the ball and get the first down. Come on.
Sam Cook the punt to Quentin Lawrence. And Cook hits a low knuckler, very returnable, but Lawrence bobbles it, snatches it off the turf, and is buried immediately at the 41-yard line. 1:59 left in the first quarter. The Ravens defense has been stout despite the absence of Ray Lewis tonight. The linebacking core has always been a strength of the Ravens. Jameel McClain now starting to assert himself as a force. We heard from him with his hit earlier tonight. McClain, Lewis, Jarrett Johnson, Tavares Gooden, Donnell Ellerby, Prescott Burgess, your veteran core. Then the guys who are fighting for spots in this linebacking core, they're going to have to do something because several of them, I would say Ian Badejio's safe, Sergio Kindle is safe, but everybody else pretty much on the fringe. Phillips, Leon, McClain, and Bynes, McClellan and Bynes.
8 linebackers is a lot, though, Jerry. The question is, how many do you keep on those positions? You never know, because without special teams now, because linebackers usually you have extra ones because of special teams. Without the kickoff.
At Castle to throw on first down. Wants to throw to his back. It's through the hands of Thomas Jones and incomplete. Terrell Suggs was closing in. Jerry, Q, Stan with you from the Aerotech Broadcast Center at N&T. All tied at 3. Just under 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Haloti Ngata got a little hand on that too. Look at this. I'd like to see him catch that and run down the sideline.
Big Haloti.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he tipped that ball. First game he ever played, Jerry. Remember we saw that?
Tampa Bay.
He takes the ball. He runs it for about 40, 50 yards. The 5-yard line, nobody there. He just runs out of bounds and he just ran out of gas.
He had not learned the art of the Ed Reed lateral yet. He should have just looked for Ed and tossed it to him. Castle to throw the slant. It's almost intercepted. Kerry Williams hit it in his hands. And Williams left his feet. If he would have kept his feet on the play, I think he would have had a pick.
2 guys here. Watch the blitz coming off the corner. Now watch him jump this route in front. He just said, I'm gonna take this route away. And he just did. Pollard blitzed and almost ran over the back. Did a great job of forcing the throw. And then Kerry Williams, man, he jumped the route. That's no more than saying, because of his split, whatever it was, I know what he's running, and I'm going to get it.
Third-year veterans had a whale of a training camp. Matt Castle to throw on third down. He's not going to get the release. He is brought down at the 37-yard line. Donnell Ellerby was in on the mix.
And Ladarius Webb. We talked about him when we met with him this week about playing in the slot and the different things he had to do. And one of those things we talked about was blitzing. And he does a good job here coming from the blind side and hitting Castle right in the back. That's where you really want to strip it out. But he got the sack, and that's what he's been working on. He gained about 10 pounds of upper body strength this year.
And the Ravens defense tonight looking very much like the Ravens defense. Nearly blocked punt by Sergio Kindle. And Ladarius Webb will let this one bounce out of bounds. Sergio Kindle almost got a hand on the ball, and the officials are going to have to step in between Haruki Nakamura and Jeremy Horn, who started to push and shove, and then Nakamura alertly walked away from what could have been a street fight and an ejection. Let's go back to that punt. Sergio Kindle showing his remarkable athletic ability. You usually see guys on the edge, the small guys. This is a big guy getting clean.
Oh my gosh, that was a nice release inside and really getting to Colquitt. I'm surprised Colquitt was able to get the punt off. Certainly they're going to be talking, you can see him on the sideline. They're going to be talking to him about not going to where the ball is at, but actually trying to visualize taking the ball off the punter's foot.
And he's going to talk about laying out.
Yes.
Not trying to block it as you're standing up.
Yes.
That punt went out of bounds at the Ravens 7-yard line. First and 10 for Joe Flacco. Hands it off to Ray Rice. Rice putting his head down and barreling out to the 12-yard line. Tough 4 yards for the Ravens' 4th-year running back.
I don't want to take it for granted. Ray Rice came into camp with a mission of going from good to great. And he talked about being a guy who, whether it be short yardage, goal line, he wants to be an every down guy. He doesn't want to just be a guy who is in certain situations. I like the attitude in which he is displaying tonight running the football.
The Ravens have had a hard time with field position tonight. Their average starting position, their own 10-yard line. Chiefs have been starting their midfield. Flacco's pass over the middle, and Dixon has it out at the 16-yard line. It'll be just shy of the first down by about a yard there. So a big third down coming up. Derek Johnson on the stop for KC.
Yeah, you want to take that 1 more yard, I would think. Try to get to that first down stick on that one.
Yes and no. I will say this. Sometimes you have to go to where your spot is at.
Oh, I understand that.
And if it's short of the first down, as long as you're on the same page with your quarterback, now it's third and manageable, and it's up to the coordinator to call the right play.
Well, my thought was that he could have gone another yard there. The coverage didn't make him.
It'll be 3rd and 1 when we start the second quarter. Final seconds of the first quarter coming off the clock. We are all tied at 3 after 15 minutes of play. Joe Flacco and the offense haven't had much room to work with. The defense has been stellar. It's Ravens football the way we always see it. August, September, or November here on the Ravens. Game day had found purple this season. Celebrate Purple Fridays each week by wearing your best purple jersey, shirt, or accessory on Fridays. Show your team spirit and get your purple on. Got my purple on tonight. Stan's got his purple on tonight.
Yeah.
Hugh's got more of the gray hues going, but I think you were playing that maybe the light would kind of give it a purple hint to it.
Exactly. I have my purple underwear on.
You do not have. You do not, however, have your purple cowboy hat on.
No, I do not need to see that. That's
all tied at 3 as we start the second quarter. Ravens for the 3rd down and 1. Ball is at their 16. Monte leads in front of Ray Rice. See if we get a taste of smash mouth running. Here it comes. Ray Rice straight ahead. He's got the first down as he climbs across the pile out to the 20-yard line.
And that's where I was talking about Ray Rice being in on 3rd and short.
Right.
Going from that good to great. No matter what the down, no matter what the distance or situation, Ray Rice wants to be in that situation. Nice job just going up in there and getting the first down.
I like Dennis Pitta on that one against Tom Bahali. He did enough to knock him off the ball and open up a little lane for the fullback to get through and lead Ray Rice for the first down.
Dennis Pitta, a guy whose stock has really risen in the last couple of weeks. Flacco on first down to throw. Blitz pressure. Flacco pumping once, going deep midfield. He overthrew Anquan Bolden for his 2nd time tonight.
Brandon Flowers is in position on that time.
Yep. But when you got man-to-man coverage and you only got one guy back deep with Anquan, you throw it up and say, let him beat the other guy to the ball.
Well, it's a different type of throwing it up when you have Lee Evans. You're trying to throw it out there. But for Anquan, it's about putting some air underneath and let him be aggressive and snatch it out of the air. Anquan might not be the fleetest of foot, but he has some strong mitts and can grab the ball out of space very well.
Yeah, he'll beat you for the ball. He'll beat you up and take the ball.
2nd down and 10. Joe Flacco, 5 of 10. Patiently waiting for something to develop. Now on the run to the left. Tries to circle back, running out of time, and he has to throw the ball away into the Ravens bench area.
Good move.
They can fight another day.
Yep.
Yeah.
You talk about the development of players. It sounds a little bit unusual, but sometimes an incompletion shows great development by a quarterback.
Absolutely. Trying too much.
Remember we saw Kyle Bowler used to always roll out to his right and then throw back across his body when he was trying to make a play, and invariably it'd end up with some type of turnover, interception, or he would get sacked. But Joe buys time twice and just couldn't find anybody, so he extended the play. It just didn't work.
3rd down and 10. At the end of that last play, he had Kelly Gregg, his former teammate, closing in. All out blitz, but flags at the snap.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Michael Orr flagged for the false start. Those are the little things you do not want to see from a veteran tackle this year, especially when the left side of the line should be your strength with the questions on the right side of the line.
Yeah, no doubt. You want to anticipate the snap count, but use the snap count to your advantage. Don't use it against yourself and put the team in the 3rd and long scenario.
Get Tom Bahali out there.
Flacco on 3rd and 15. His pass thrown behind Anquan Bolden, incomplete. He had Bolden open at the 32, but unable to find him. Q, take us through your offensive keys tonight.
Yes, certainly tonight. Improve the offensive line play, and I'm talking about no false starts.
Yeah, sure.
I guess I should have given the memo to Michael Orr on that particular play, but make a name for yourself. And I'm talking about guys like Dennis Pitta, and of course, prove your worth. When this 2nd quarter goes, and of course you got your 3rd and 4th string guys trying to make the club, prove your worth. Prove that you belong on this ball club.
Sam Cook's worth has long since been proven. He hangs a high punt, drops it down just shy of the 45-yard line. Adebayo will down it for the Ravens. And they're going to mark that one at the 44-yard line of the Kansas City Chiefs. We are tied at 3. 2nd quarter in Baltimore on the Ravens Game Day Network. With the Ravens and AirTran Airways to Jacksonville, Florida. See the Ravens battle the Jaguars. Winners receive a package for themselves and one guest, including round-trip airfare on AirTran Airways, hotel accommodations, tickets to the game, and much more. Go to BaltimoreRavens.com/flyaway to enter. All tied at 3, 13:51 to play in the first half. Andy Moeller, the Ravens offensive line coach, having a conversation with Michael Orr after Orr with a false start on 3rd and long. And the Ravens bring Bernard Pollard on the blitz. Matt Castle unloads it to Ron McClain. He's in Ravens territory. He'll be hit from behind, but takes the ball down to the 42-yard line.
Great timing. Great timing by Bernard Pollard on that one. Just Terrell Suggs did the wrong thing. He went inside the block. You got to force it back to all your people on the inside. You watch Terrell Suggs on the right here. He just goes inside the blocker here, and that allows McClain to go down the sideline. And when he gets rolling, he's a big man.
Yeah, LeRon McClain wanted to get extra carries and get more involved in the offense. Seems he's getting his opportunity here in Kansas City.
Castle's slant is broken up by Kerry Williams, who continues to have a stellar night on the heels of a stellar first preseason game at corner. Stan, take us through your defensive keys tonight.
Well, number one, as we talked about, was improved tackling. It's been pretty good tonight. I mean, I haven't seen any clear misses. I've seen some maybe like to stop them a little bit more dead in their tracks. And number two is make the play. And Kerry Williams is doing that, except he didn't make the play on the interception. You make that play, then it turns the whole game around.
Second down and 10 for the Chiefs. Ball is at the Ravens 41. Castle to throw. Toss out the backfield. He's got Dexter McCluster, and McCluster with the extra effort may have picked up the first down at the 30-yard line. Got to get just inside the 31-yard line. That's where they're going to spot the ball. And that will move the chains for Kansas City with just under 13 minutes to play. Donnell Ellerbe had a shot to prevent the first down. Swing and a miss.
Donnell Ellerbe has a tough task of going up against Dexter McCluster. Dexter is known for making guys miss and fighting for those extra yards. He's a big play guy waiting to happen.
You get a little guy like that, you can't give him that much space. And Terry Metcalf or a guy like that can make you look silly in the open field.
Ed Reed showing blitz, and here he comes. Give us the Thomas Jones running to the right, gets around the corner inside the 25-yard line. A penalty flag down in front of the Ravens sideline. But John Harbaugh is already signaling holding on the Chiefs.
Yeah, it might have been on Prescott Burgess. He saw all of a sudden got pulled back to the inside.
Gene Steratore trying to get the details of the call from his officiating staff. He could just go to John Harbaugh because Harbaugh has been standing there yelling to him, holding on the Chiefs.
Holding. Offense, number 45. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Leonard Pope, the tight end. If you're the head coach, you know you want to go back to the ref after he makes a call and say, I told you that. Why didn't you just listen to me?
Did it take all that time?
Chiefs alertly ran away from the blitz.
Yeah, right on Prescott Burgess, number 54 for the Ravens. You see, that's what allowed him to get outside. When he did break outside, Prescott tried to get away and went right down to the ground.
Castle to throw out of the gun. Keys it to the far sideline, way off the mark. He had Paul Kruger closing in, along with Lardarius Webb. So Chuck Pagano, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, has said he is going to be all about aggressive. Stan, I think we're starting to see his philosophy play out. Aggressive means getting pass rush from anyone and everyone.
Yeah, you're going to bring them from all angles. They're going to overload size, bring 4 from one side and nobody from the other, especially on a quarterback that sits in the pocket like Matt Castle does. You'll see a lot of different things with some different coverages behind it.
Second down and 15 for the Chiefs from the Ravens 36. Castle's pass is caught for a short gain to the 31-yard line.
You'll give him that.
Steve Preston on the reception, Lardarius Webb on the coverage, and an injured Chiefs player is down at the 41-yard line. Training staff is out to take a look at one of the linemen who is down at the end of that play. A third down and 11 coming up for Kansas City. Brandon Albert is the injured player. We'll get an update on his situation when we come back. Tied at 3, 12:03 to play. First half on the Ravens game. Albert, the left tackle for the Chiefs, a Baltimore kid. Stan, he made the classic football mistake and ducked his head.
Yeah, he ducked his head and got hit by Terrell Suggs' knee coming around and in the back of his head, and he is now trying to remember that play.
On the bench, being tended to by the Chiefs training staff with a focus on concussions. You can get a concussion that easily. You drop your head and the injury rate will multiply. Third and 11, Castle. Inside pass goes to Dwayne Bowe, and Bowe is going to be wrapped up and taken down at the 28-yard line, far shy of the first down.
Look how easy it is to call a defense when you set up your defense on first and second down. You put pressure on the offense. Now you're in that third and long scenario. Chuck Pagano dialing up overload pressure to the left side of your screen, and I like the fact that you see a lot of Ravens swarming to the tackle and bringing Bowe down for no gain.
That was 4 to one side. We talked about that before, overloading that side. And that's how you try to beat it with screens.
46-yard try for Ryan Suckup, and Suckup's kick is off the upright and no good.
That's a win for the Ravens defense. No points given up.
Suckup had plenty of leg in it, but he put it off the upright. The dink that keeps the game tied at 3 with 11:03 in the half on the Ravens Game Day Network. You're too young to be a Ravens fan. And we invite you to join the Ravens Rookies, the official kids club of the Baltimore Ravens, for a special night at M&T Bank Stadium, September 23rd. Sit on the field where your favorite players play and watch a movie on the HD Ravens Vision board. This is an event for the entire family to enjoy. Save the date. Join the Ravens Rookies by visiting BaltimoreRavens.com/rookies. First and 10 Ravens at their 36-yard line. Joe Flacco off the play fake. Lofts it incomplete over top of Torrey Smith, who was open near midfield, and Joe Flacco really struggling since getting off to a 3-for-3 start in the first quarter. He's 2 for his last 10.
He's just a little bit off tonight. He's thrown behind Dixon. This is wide open. Bootleg crossing pattern. Look at the distance, the separation he has on the Kansas City defender here. And that's one you got to hit. I know the guy in front, he's trying to throw over him, but you could dart that. You could wait one more step and throw it to the outside.
Eric Berry was lurking behind Torrey Smith. Flacco lucky he didn't throw an interception. Second and 10. Flacco again up top. Crossing pattern is caught by Chris Wilson, the tight end, after the 43-yard line. He's going to set up a third down and a long 3. At the kind of conversion point Cam Cameron needs to see some success on. Last year on third downs, Ravens fell to 22nd in the league, and that was one of the areas Cam Cameron really brought a focus to this year in training camp of turning third downs into first downs.
This is where Tandon Doss has made his money over the years. He's that little possession guy, good hands, short patterns.
Doss in motion. And the Chiefs may have jumped. They're going to call this on the Ravens.
Offense number 79, 5-yard penalty, third down.
O'Neal Cousins, who is at right guard tonight for the injured Marshall Yanda.
I swear I was not trying to test my keys by saying the offensive line needs to work on their false starts.
Way to go, Q.
Well, this is a completely different third down now. You go from 3rd and 3, where you have a lot of different options, to a 3rd down and 8, where the defense knows you're going to throw the ball.
Yeah. Plus the patterns have to be that much deeper, obviously.
Ricky Williams in the backfield, Flacco in the gun. Chiefs are showing blitz pressure, and here it comes. Flacco fires far sideline, and it is caught. Lee Evans has it. Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line for a first down. 13-yard gain.
The one guy he seems to be hitting in stride is the guy who's only been here a couple days.
Right.
Anquan Boldin, Dixon, he seems to be just a little bit off on him, but he's hitting Lee Evans right in stride. That second foot looks like it just barely got down inbounds to make this a first down. 1, 2, 1. Close.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, that's fine. That's
Hurry up
enough.
and snap the ball here.
There goes the red flag.
There's a red flag.
Yep.
Lee Evans on that particular one stretching out for it, helping Joe look good on that, as all receivers should. Help their quarterback. I like that average, 15.7-yard average.
Kansas City is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
15-yard average means big play capability. That's what Lee Evans brings to the table.
It was right in front of him, but they had to go to the monitor first. We'll see. Got a nice.
Todd Haley saw the same thing Stan did. Not sure that second foot came down. We'll find out when we come back on the Ravens Game Day Network. Taking a long look at the replay of the Lee Evans reception. If the play stands, Ravens have a 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 49. The question simply, did Lee Evans get both feet in bounds with possession of the ball? Q?
Well, I clearly see that his foot is in the green area of the football field, and that white area, which signifies out of bounds, certainly was not touched. He had possession. Looked like he just plucked the ball out of there. Just nice snatch. And that's a control right there.
Here's our referee, Gene Steratore, with the decision.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Baltimore. Kansas City will be charged with its first timeout.
Yeah, he said stands, which means it wasn't enough evidence to overturn. He didn't say confirmed, which would have meant we could tell definitively that it was in bounds. You see, the toe of his shoe is white here, too, which makes it even more difficult to tell whether that toe is on the white or that's the white of his toe.
The HD camera tells me that he has a completed pass.
Oh, okay.
Now the 1st and 10 marker tells me he has a completed pass. And Flacco to throw on first down. He's being chased out of the pocket, and he throws complete. Short gain to Torrey Smith, his first reception as a Raven for about 2 yards and a big hit.
That's huge. 2-yard gain, so what? I'm glad the fact that it's a catch. Again, you're trying to earn the trust of Joe Flacco. Joe's under duress. He's getting rid of the football. You know you're going to get hit, but you still make the catch. It's a positive gain in the mind of Joe, throwing it out to his receiver. Tyson Jackson just leveled him. Or actually, Tyson Jackson pressuring Joe, but get the ball out to him.
Yeah. Derek Johnson leveled. You don't want to pay that much of a price for 2 yards that often.
2nd down and 8. Flacco again wants to go up top. In between the hash marks, and this time Torrey Smith can't pull it down. Flacco led him just a little bit too far.
Yeah, but I'm going to give Joe the benefit of the doubt on this. Young man needs to come up out of that route hard. Once you stick your foot in the ground on that end cut, you got to come out of there with some conviction. I don't believe he came out of there with some conviction. You come out of there with that step and that burst, you'll be able to climb the ladder and make that play for Joe. It's about earning his trust. You gotta earn your trust when you're a rookie.
Well, he's throwing through that window too. He's trying to decide where do I throw it through that window and who's going to be there at that exact time.
Ricky Williams in the backfield on 3rd down and 8 from the Chiefs 47. Blitz pressure up the middle. Flacco's pass caroms off the helmet of an offensive lineman and falls incomplete. That time the Chiefs brought the house and the Ravens could not stem the tide, and the drive will stall at midfield.
Got to be a hot somewhere. Yeah, when you bring this many people, somebody's got to be the hot receiver here and throw it open. I don't know what Michael Orr didn't block anybody. He could have stepped out. So something was wrong with the protection.
Well, Pitta certainly looked around, was ready to receive the ball. I'm wondering whether or not Joe is assuming he was going to be protected and ignored the hot. And ultimately it wasn't.
Sam Cook gets the punt off under pressure. Quentin Lawrence, fair catch made at the 10-yard line of the Chiefs. So for a change, a 37-yard punt will back Kansas City up. 8:40 left in the first half, tied at 3. Torrey Smith going against the #1 cornerbacks of the Kansas City Chiefs. So he's getting a look against some very talented secondary tonight. Has his first reception as a Raven, though his second one would have been a big gain. Couldn't pull it in. Here's Ravens Director of Player Personnel, Eric DaCosta, on the former Terp.
Big, physical, fast guy, vertical threat, really good in shallow crossers and 9 routes down the field. He's going to be the type of guy who can really take the top off the defense, and he's made a lot of plays for us throughout the deal practices. We're excited about him. We think he's going to be a real good player for us.
Tyler Palko is in at quarterback now for the Chiefs. Thomas Jones on the carry, picks up 5 on 1st down up to the 15-yard line. So Matt Castle's work is done for the evening. It'll be interesting to see if Joe Flacco returns the next time the Ravens have the ball, or if we will see Tyrod Taylor, who is warming up on the sideline. Palko, the former Pitt Panthers, sack ball comes loose, and the Ravens come up with the ball inside the 5-yard line. Arthur Jones gets his hands on the ball, and he takes it down to the 2.
That's a big play. Palko never saw it. It was right in his face, too. Hit him right in the chest. The ball comes free right to Arthur Jones. So big play for the Syracuse guy.
SU guy in the house, certainly making his presence felt. Pernell McPhee with the forced pressure on him. Oh my gosh, wow, that was just a beast of a move to get up the middle on him, and Tyler Flacco had nowhere to go. Tyler Palko, pardon me, had nowhere to go.
Well, Flacco and Palko have a history. Palko was the quarterback who essentially forced Flacco to transfer from Pitt because he was ahead of him on the depth chart.
Absolutely. And Arthur Jones making his presence felt. We talked to him a few days ago, and he talked about trying to make a big play. Certainly did it there.
Here's your Ray Rice in the game on the goal line.
Todd Haley has thrown his second challenge flag. The only thing he could be challenging here is whether Palko was in the grasp.
Now tuck rule, I think he's probably looking at.
Well, tuck rule doesn't matter because the ball never hit the ground. Arthur Jones got the ball before it hit the ground.
Kansas City is challenging the ruling on the previous play of a fumble.
Arthur Jones snatched that ball before it hit the turf.
Well, so then it doesn't matter. I didn't see that part of the replay.
Unless I saw it incorrectly. From my point of view, that ball did not hit the turf, but that's what Gene Steratore will go under the hood to take a look at. They officially ruled it a fumble, but it could just as easily, I believe, have been ruled on interception. Palko was hit by McPhee. Ball came loose. It did hit the turf once, and Arthur Jones grabbed it on the hop, off of one hop.
Yeah,
but he
that may
fielded
be,
it so cleanly.
That might be the tuck rule.
Yeah. The arm is going forward, even though he is trying to tuck it. And it's obvious he's not trying to throw it, he's trying to tuck it. That's the rule. They don't want them to have to look for intent on this play. If the arm's going forward, they're going to call that an incomplete pass. So I expect them to call that one just like they did for Joe Flacco.
That is the nature of the tuck rule. The only thing I would say that might play out for the Ravens in this one is if Palko started to pull the ball back. It looked like after he brought the ball completely forward, he started to pull the ball back into his body. At that point, if he's hit, it should be ruled a fumble.
If he's completed the tuck and then started back the other direction, yes. I don't know if they're going to look at it that finally.
They usually favor the quarterback. They'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And I think in this particular case, they might be giving him more of the benefit of the doubt, saying that it could be that, in fact.
All right, predictions. I'm going to predict they overturn it and give the ball back to the Chiefs. Stan?
Since I already said that, yeah, I think, well,
2 for 2, Q?
Okay, I'll go the other way and say my boy Art Jones did an awesome job with his running mate McPhee, and Ravens first and goal.
So regardless of the outcome of this challenge, Chuck Pagano has to feel really good about a couple of things. One, the pass rush pressure from Pernell McPhee, who we saw throughout training camp in Philadelphia and now here against Kansas City applying pressure. And Art Jones, a kid who last year rarely active and this year has been all over the field in training camp, in preseason games.
When they start writing stuff down, that means they're probably going to put the ball back where it was, how much time, what down it is, all those things. So, you know, because they're going to have to reset the clock and all those things. So I would expect even more so now that it gets overturned.
I still like the fact that Pernell McPhee
You just like it because Art Jones recovered the fumble.
Hey, man.
In order for this to be a fumble, the official rule at the end of the tuck rule, if the tuck rule remains in play until the quarterback brings the ball completely back to his body. So if he has not brought the ball back to his body under his own power, the tuck rule is in play, and it's ruled an incomplete pass. And I think that's what you're going to see at the outcome of this play. Here's Gene Steratore after the reviewing the writing. Here's your outcome.
After review, it has been determined that the quarterback did maintain possession while the ball was moving forward. Therefore, it is an incomplete forward pass. It will be Kansas City's ball, 3rd down and 5 on the 15-yard line. The ball will be placed on the left hash mark. Kansas City will not be charged a timeout. However, Kansas City was unsuccessful with their first challenge. Although this was successful, they are out of challenges for the remainder of the game.
Gene Steratore talks much longer. He's going to demand speaking fees. That's the longest explanation, but a spot-on explanation.
Yeah, I think it was the right one.
Nobody less happy about that than Art Jones. Tyler Palko very happy that the tuck rule saves him from a reverse red zone turnover. He would have turned the ball right over to the Ravens in the red zone. Instead,
to 8 minutes, 14 seconds. 8:14 on the game clock, please.
Excuse me. Tyler Palko's been out of college 4 or 5 years now, but he's still listed as a first-year player. He really doesn't have any credited seasons in the NFL because he hadn't had 3 games on an active roster. He actually was a senior the same year my son was and played in the U.S. Army game together. And then his dad also was a famous high school coach up in the Pittsburgh area.
Well, you have 6 attempts in one whole season and you only complete 4. You're not exactly heir apparent to Peyton Manning as the best quarterback in the NFL. Palko on 3rd and 5 from the gun. Crossing pattern is complete. Kerry Colbert on the reception, and he will move the chains as he gets the ball out to the 22-yard line.
You know, that's one thing with Chuck Pagano's defense. They're going to apply a lot of pressure, but if you're the quarterback and you can stand up underneath it and deliver a good striking ball, which Tyler Palko did on that one, you can move the chains. And that time, Lardarius Webb was unable to come up with the pass breakup.
1st and 10 Chiefs at the KC 22. Blitz pressure up the middle. Palko lofts it complete to Dexter McCluster. He's got room. 30, 35. And Bernard Pollard pulls him out of bounds as he crosses the 40-yard line. Big tackle by Bernard Pollard because with the speed McCluster has, if he gets down the sideline, he could have gone the whole way.
Yeah, he's a big kick return, punt return man who has broken many of them. And here, this was set up pretty good. Prescott Burgess, he could have made that play. It would have been, obviously would have saved about 15, 20 yards and almost a touchdown here. Good job by Bernard Pollard getting McCluskey down.
Thomas Jones gets the handoff on first down, picks his way through traffic, gets a couple of yards out to the 43. Second down and 8 coming up for Kansas City. Just under 7 minutes to play in the opening half. The first team defense has been impressive. The first team offense for the Ravens has missed on several big opportunities. But some young players like Pernell McPhee continue to shine for Chuck Pagano. Jerry Stanique with you in the Aerotech Broadcast Center. Happy to be home here at M&T Bank Stadium. And a great turnout tonight for the Ravens' first home preseason game. It was to Jones running to the right side, and he runs right into Brandon McKinney for a gain of about 1. It'll be a 3rd down and 7 coming up for Kansas City. Pernell McPhee was one of those guys who doesn't get a lot of play prior to the draft. So the Ravens scouts were extremely excited about him, and Chuck Pagano loved everything he saw about him. Ravens took him in the 5th round out of Mississippi State. Grew up in Pahokee, Florida, same hometown as Anquan Bolden. And Pagano has a great quote. He says, "We keep finding these great tough guys out of the swamp." So you get the guys out of that swamp, they know how to play in this league. 3rd down and 7. Ravens bring blitz pressure up the middle. Palco's pass batted down. Beautiful defensive effort by Paul Kruger, who leaped and knocked the ball down and forces the punt team on for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Of course, remember maybe his only play of his rookie year is when he intercepted the pass against the Steelers in overtime to win that game, help win that game. He's just a fraction away from taking that down the sideline there.
He actually batted the ball down. I'm thinking, Paul, reach your hands out there and snatch it out of the air.
He's an old quarterback, too. He should have good hands.
Lardarius Webb deep, awaiting the Dustin Colquitt punt, and Sergio Kindle almost got it again. Webb backs away from it, and the Chiefs will down it inside the 20-yard line. They're going to spot this one at the 19. That's 2. Sergio Kindle has almost gotten on the punt squad. Let's go back to Pernell McPhee. John Harbaugh told us something about him that I'd like you guys to explain. And Harbaugh almost lit up when he said he's got heavy hands when he rushes the passer. What's that mean?
Well, as an offensive lineman, you're trying to put your hands in the middle of the chest of the defensive lineman. And at the same time, that defensive lineman, he's trying to just knock your hands down.
Here's Chuck Pagano on the talented rookie pass rusher.
Look for number 90, Pernell McPhee. You know, he's been doing some great things in camp. Those young, the young secondary guys, guy like Silva, guy like Shockey Brown getting in the game. I'm excited to see, guys like that, go out and perform.
Ray Rice for the carry for about 3 out to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, heavy hands means when you deliver a blow with your hands, the other guy feels it. It shocks him. It's just like those defensive backs used to come up and give you those hand shivers and just stop you in your tracks.
They would try to. They could never do it. Yeah.
And a week ago, Pernell McPhee in Philadelphia forced the fumble that Lardarius Webb returned for a touchdown, overruled on review tonight, forced what we thought was a fumble that would have given the Ravens the ball at the 2-yard line, overturned by review. Kid's going to hate to watch reruns after this game. Flacco on play action, pocket collapsing. He weaves his way to the near sideline and throws the ball away.
Something was wrong with that. The whole timing, the whole play, the fake went the wrong way. Something was wrong because Joe just started scrambling real quick right after he, I don't know, it just didn't look right. Something was wrong with the whole play action.
Well, certainly they wanted to get the ball down the football field. It looked like he and Ray weren't connecting in regards to the play fake. Then immediately there was pressure in his face, so he wasn't able to sit up and try to deliver the ball down the football field. You had 2 speedsters in there. You had Lee Evans and you had Torrey Smith in the game at the same time.
And both remain in for Cam Cameron as Flacco sets to throw on 3rd down and 8. Lofting it near side. Lee Evans has it in stride. He's in Chiefs territory and he's pulled down inside the 40-yard line. And a penalty flag down at the end of that play. And this might be a horse collar.
Yep, they've expanded that. You don't have to just grab the back of it. You can grab the rack of the jersey and pull them down. That's what they're talking about right now. Whether it was just the jersey or it was the collar, enough of it to Jaleel Brown from the Kansas City Chiefs grabbed the back of it. That almost was an injury. That's an ugly-looking tackle.
And that was an absolute sprinter's track meet as Lee Evans came out of the gate and Flacco with a perfect touch pass right to him in stride.
Yeah, you're looking at Joe Flacco. We talked about his accuracy to everyone else. It's been off a little bit, but to Lee Evans, he's been spot on tonight, throwing the out route, throwing the slant route, and now this nice little fade route to the outside.
There is no foul for an unnecessary roughness horse collar tackle. The tackle is low. It is, however, a completed pass. First down, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that was horse collar. He grabbed him almost around the waist and pulled Evans down.
I think what the referee saw, the sideline judge saw, was just how
ugly
Lee went down, and it looked like a horse collar tackle.
Yeah, I've seen guys break their legs when they go down like that.
Terrell Owens comes to mind.
So the play stands. The penalty does not. It's 1st and 10 Ravens at the Chiefs 35. Flacco throwing complete. Dennis Pitta has it close to the 30-yard line. And that'll be for a 5-yard gain. For our radio partners on tonight's simulcast, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Ravens Game Day Network. 2nd down and 6 for the Ravens coming up from the Chiefs' 31-yard line. Tied at 3, 4:12 to play in the first half. Evans splits wide to the right. The rookie Torrey Smith to the left. Flacco wants to throw. Comes out of the backfield. Vontae Leach with a reception. Put his helmet down. Lost his helmet. And pinned Brandon Seiler onto his back after this short gain. That is a personality assessment from one tough hombre.
Yeah, Brandon Seiler's not going to like to watch this film because he gets pancaked. Watch this. Boom.
We just call that being trucked.
Yeah. Truck, pancake, whatever you want.
But boom!
You didn't deliver the blow. You got smashed.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
We knew Vontae Leach was a great blocker, and we also knew he was a good receiver. It isn't often you see a guy block on his own reception. That's what that looked like. 3rd down and short. Ray Rice gets the handoff. He's got a big hole. 20-yard line. 15, 10, 5, and he's in for the touchdown. 26-yard touchdown run for Ray Rice. And that entire scoring drive hinged on the one play, the toss from Flacco to Lee Evans, and all of a sudden, Q, with that one play, the drive, the synchronicity was all there for Joe Flacco.
Yeah, it starts with the big play. You need to have a big play to get things going. I like the fact that it was to Lee Evans. That's what he brings to the table. But that lead block by Vontae Leach really sprung the hole wide open for Ray Rice to run through. Excellent job of cutting back. And of course, once he's in the open field, using his speed for the touchdown.
Well, there's the impact of your newcomers on offense, Lee Evans and Vontae Leach. Here's Billy Cundiff with the extra point, and his kick is good. 3:10 to play in the first half, and the Ravens with a 7-point lead, 10-3 in front of the Kansas City Chiefs. As Ray Rice cuts back on a 26-yard touchdown run that started with a big hole, a hole that got bigger courtesy of Vontae Leach, and then the field vision of Ray Rice. Q, I don't think you can teach the ability to run left and see right.
Yeah, you know, I know that Ray Rice takes a lot of pride in going to the hole slow, reading his blocks, allowing them to set up, and then bursting through. Did an excellent job of bursting through that line. Ja Reed gets up in the mix. You see the abilities of the entire offensive line, including O'Neal Cousins, to really just push the guys through the line and scoring. You see, look at John Harbaugh and Wilbur Montgomery just looking at one another saying, yeah, that's how you draw it up and that's how you score.
Montgomery, the Ravens running back coach, happy to see the Geico scoring drive capped with a 26-yard Ray Rice touchdown run. 6 plays, 81 yards, 2:25 come off the clock. And that play hinged on a big 3rd down completion. Flacco to Lee Evans, and then capped it off with Ray Rice. That's the type of impact players Cam Cameron has been looking for, the type of impact plays Ravens fans want to see in 2011. Billy Cundiff to kick off. Quentin Lawrence deep to the Chiefs. And Cundiff tries to hold back a little bit, fielded 5 yards deep, but another touchback, 3rd of the game. Mentioned Vontae Leach. We saw him put his helmet down on his reception. How about his block on the Ray Rice touchdown run?
Yeah, again, this is what he was brought in here for, and he talked to Ray Rice about the fact that he wants to do one thing and one thing only, and that's to just open up the holes and make Ray's job a lot easier so he can get these explosive type runs. This is what you need to have. You need to have that lead fullback. You had that. You had Ray have an opportunity to cut it back. Offensive line as well as Vontae did an excellent job springing Ray Rice.
Tyler Palko stays in the quarterback for the Chiefs. 3:10 to play in the half. Ravens up by a touchdown. On first down, Jackie Battle with the carry. He weaves his way across the 25 out to the 27-yard line. Gain of 7. 3 minutes even left to play in the half. Stellar first half for the Ravens defense. Big difference from what we saw a week ago, and now an impactful first half for Vontae Leach, Lee Evans, Joe Flacco, and this Ravens offense.
Well, it's all about getting in sync and being on the same page and making plays.
Jackie Battle will get the carry on second down. He'll squirt his way out close to the 30-yard line. Depending where they spot this, they'll put it right on the marker. And that'll be a first down for Kansas City. Jameel McClain on the tackle. Q, I want to take you back 4 training camps. First practice under Cam Cameron. And I remember early in that practice, he was talking to his players about having that same aggressive tone you see from Ravens defense, and we've seen now for 16 years. Vontae Leach brings that.
Brings that and then some. You know you have to have a certain amount of attitude, a certain amount of swagger. When you run the ball and be physical at the point of attack, that puts the defense in submission. That's what you're talking about with Vontae Leach.
And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in the first half. And the Ravens in front, 10-3 on the Ravens Game Day Network. Game of the NFL. It's back and better than ever. Create your own custom league, experience free live scoring, and exclusive video highlights. All for free and only at NFL.com. Sign up today at NFL.com/fantasy. A week ago, the offensive line giving up no sacks sounded like a fantasy. It's reality tonight, even without Marshall Yanda in the lineup. He's been fighting back spasms, not playing tonight, and the Ravens offensive line has not given up a sack here in the first half. Much improvement in that area for the Ravens. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs from their 30. Palko to throw under pressure. His pass is complete out near midfield. And still on his feet, Baran Tucker down to the Ravens' 42-yard line. A gain of 28.
Wow, did Tyler Palko get leveled as he threw that ball. You got to be tough when you sit in that pocket going up against this Ravens defense. He just got smashed. Delivers a nice throw out there, and Kerry Williams, he's been very on the spot, but he gives up a big gain on that play.
Chiefs have 2 timeouts to work with. 1:51 left in the half. On the draw play, Dexter McCluster, room to run, 35-30. And he's twisted down at the 28-yard line by Lardarius Webb after a gain of 14 and another Chiefs first down.
When you're an aggressive defense, a draw play like this can help nullify it, and certainly Paul Kruger was a little too aggressive, and Tyler Palko taking advantage of it.
And Palko under pressure from a blitzing Lardarius Webb throws incomplete to his tight end Tony Moriarty. That'll stop the clock with 1:24 left in the half. 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs. Ravens in front 10-3. Talked about this last week in the preseason opener. These are ideal scenarios. You practice this all week long, but when you get a real 2-minute scenario, you want to capitalize on, in this case for the Ravens, for the defensive players, whether you are Donnell Ellerbe or Brendan Ian-Badejo, you want to work your way into those substitution packages Chuck Pagano will use when the games start to count in September. Palko from the gun on 2nd and 10. Here's blitz pressure. Kindle can't get there in time. McCluster on the reception, and he's all the way down to the 10-yard line of the Ravens. Sergio Kindle knifing through the offense of the Chiefs, but Palko delivered, and he puts the ball in the Heinz red zone for Kansas City.
Yeah, Tyler Palko again just being able to stand in the pocket and deliver the ball. Haruki Nakamura has to make that tackle for no gain.
Give us to McCluster on the draw, jukes his way down to the 5-yard line, and Ellerbe brings him down there for the Ravens with 51 seconds left in the half. The Chiefs still have 2 timeouts, Q, and they haven't used them yet.
Yeah, they're moving the ball down the field. They're doing what they want to do to the Ravens defense. They're dictating the tone right now. Here's where you have to make a name for yourself and step up and make a big play. Someone has to make a big play.
Drive has gone 75 yards so far for Kansas City. 28 seconds left in the half. Tyler Palko with 9 on the play clock. Sousa just burning through time. They give it to McCluster, and he'll be stopped after a gain of maybe a yard to the 4-yard line by Pernell McPhee. And now the Chiefs.
Second charge timeout, Kansas City. A 30-second timeout.
Stop the clock with 16 seconds left. Pernell
Just a
McPhee.
nice job of Pernell. Just get. He's just a motor. He's going to be relentless. You talk about those heavy hands. He's putting them to use.
Last year in the red zone, the Ravens had the 5th best red zone defense in the NFL. Only gave up 17 touchdowns on 40 red zone opportunities for their opponents. The thing last year, Q, red zone trips always led to points. The Ravens did not stop an opponent for no points in the red zone until the final game of the regular season, when the defense stopped the Cincinnati Bengals with an Ed Reed interception in the end zone. So Chuck Pagano looking for impact from Pernell McPhee and his defense on 3rd down and 3 from the Ravens 4. Palko will throw, slant pattern is caught for a touchdown. Terrence Copper on the reception, and the Chiefs an extra point away from tying it up. So Todd Haley's offense answers with an 80-yard drive to close out the first half after the Ravens defense had put together, I thought, one of the better halves we have seen either in a preseason game or in a simulation situations in practice. But that last 80-yard surrender, not at all what Chuck Pagano wanted.
Tyler Palko had a lot of poise in the pocket, got the ball out to his playmaker and Dexter McCluster. Guys weren't able to wrap up. He got extra yards. They blew the ball down the field. And again, in the red zone, putting points up on the board. Terrence Copper for the touchdown.
Ryan Suckup's extra point is good. 12 seconds left, tied at 10. Let's go back on this touchdown play. Good pressure by the defense. Zibikowski on the blitz, but not a good result for the Ravens.
Well, certainly Kerry Williams, Terrence Copper got inside of him. And for a receiver, it's very easy to catch the ball. Once you're inside the cornerback in the red zone, it's easy to get the ball out to your guy, and that's what Tyler Palko did. Delivered a great strike to Terrence Copper.
Geico scoring drive for the Chiefs, 9 plays, 80 yards, just a little under 3 minutes. They moved the ball almost the length of the field, and Tyler Palko capped it with a 4-yard touchdown pass to Terrence Copper, who spent a little time with the Ravens earlier in his career. John Harbaugh saw a great half by his defense, but likely bewildered by what the breakdowns were in those final 3 minutes of the first half. Sometimes you look at a head coach and you don't have to hear from him, though we will. Stan White will be talking to him. You know, and nobody hates to see the defense give up a late half touchdown like Stan does, because now he knows the whole tone of his conversation with John Harbaugh is going to change. We'll hear from them, Stan and John, coming up in just a couple of seconds when we get to halftime. Jalen Parmalee is deep, awaiting the kickoff from Todd Carter. Carter's kickoff fielded at the 2. Parmalee brings it across the 15, 20, and he's out to the 23-yard line. That would have been the first time this half the Ravens will not start a drive in either bad field position or the 20-yard line. Joe Flacco will take the last snap of the half, and then we will hear from Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, all tied at 10. Joe Flacco and the offense got things going there in that last drive, Q. Out of the first half, I think the impact players, the new players, Vontae Leach and Lee Evans.
Yeah, certainly Lee Evans did a fantastic job getting on the same page with Joe, making some big plays, and you saw the way Vontae Leach is going to be used in this offense. Outstanding job of lead blocking, but also in the passing game.
Final play of the first half. Players head to the halftime locker rooms. We head down to Stan White with John Harbaugh.
Okay, Jerry, thanks. Well, I know that last drive upset you. I can see you on the sideline, but the first group played real crisp. A lot of pressure, good tackling, everything.
Everything looked like football. I like the first defense, and I like the first offense, too. I mean, you're right. The things that we had to clean up from last week, we did a great job of cleaning up.
And I was really surprised at how well Joe has timed up with Lee Evans.
Right.
Considering only been together 3 or 4 days, it seems like he's better than the rest of them as far as the timing goes.
Well, just the downfield balls are so important. If we can just keep getting better, hitting those downfield balls, the deep crossing routes, it's going to be so good for us.
All right, good luck second half, Coach.
Okay.
All right. Back to you, Jerry.
Thank you, Stanley. Halftime at M&T Bank Stadium, all tied at 10. A big first half for the newcomers, Lee Evans and Vontae Leach, as they led the Ravens offense with flashes of big plays and physical toughness. Ray Rice's touchdown. The Ravens' first trip to the end zone tonight, tied at 10 at halftime. Ravens and the Chiefs in the second preseason game on the Ravens Game Day Network. Start the second half. Laquan Williams, rookie free agent out of Maryland, has caught a lot of positive attention in training camp. Ryan Suckup will kick it off, and Suckup's kick, this one might be returnable. Williams takes it 2 yards deep and brings it out across the 10, 15. Pinballs his way across the 20, 25, 30. Still on his feet and out to the 35-yard line. That's what Laquan Williams did so well at Maryland. And that's why you have to have kick returns, because that's how rookies make NFL teams.
Well, that's why this is such an exciting play, too. You're talking about the crowd standing up on its feet because of Laquan Williams making guys miss, breaking tackles. This isn't a boring play. This is a very exciting play for the National Football League. I understand you're talking about player safety, but boy, I like what I see when you talk about Laquan Williams bringing the ball out of the end zone, putting it into positive territory for the Ravens.
My question, do they have any stats that tell you there's more injuries on the kickoff than any other play? Are there stats?
I believe they do. Flag down on the first play from scrimmage in the second half. Flacco to Ricky Williams on the screen pass, and Williams out to the 45-yard line, close to a first down. We'll see if that stands. Joe Flacco making the turn at halftime and coming back out on the field to start the second half.
Illegal formation. Offense number 89 was on the line of scrimmage covering an eligible receiver, the tight end. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Tandon Doss with a rookie mistake. And this is one of the things that they practice so much throughout the course of the week, formations.
Formations is critical in Cam Cameron's offense. They're always trying to take advantage of the defense, and in that particular case, you got to know who's on the ball, who's off the ball. It's just a simple communication that you just got to have with your tight end. The inside guy has to dictate whether or not he's on or off the ball.
First and 15, Ricky Williams will get the carry, puts his shoulder down and plows his way out to the 36-yard line. Guys, typically you don't see the starting quarterback, Joe Flacco in this case, come out in the third quarter in preseason until the third preseason game. The fact that he's out here, is this Cam Cameron not happy with the timing of the offense, or because of the condensed work because of no offseason, you have to give him more reps in the game?
I think they just want to give him more reps because he wasn't as accurate as Joe usually is in the first half, except with Lee Evans, as we've pointed out, which is strange in and of itself.
Second down and 9 from the Ravens 36. Flacco under pressure, screen pass complete. Ricky Williams is taken down with an ankle tackle by Gerald Poe. Here's offensive coordinator Cam Cameron on Joe Flacco's development in his 4th year with the Ravens.
We're fortunate. We're with him every day. We're with him in the meetings. We're with him at practice. We get to see all the sides of Joe Flacco. And unfortunately, the media doesn't get to see that. And it surprises everybody when he's maybe outspoken. But he's been outspoken in a very natural way since he was a rookie. And I think that's what makes him special.
Well, let's see if he can speak with his actions and convert a 3rd and 13. Good pass protection, and Flacco loses the ball as he tried to hold on to it at the end of his motion. He falls on the ball, and I think they're going to rule that an incomplete pass. They should. That's the tuck rule in play.
They didn't,
instead, they're ruling it a fumble and a Ravens recovery back at the 25-yard line. That was clearly a tuck rule incompletion.
No doubt.
We are still in preseason form, even with the referees.
And John Harbaugh has to throw the red challenge flag, which is frustrating in and of itself because he doesn't want to burn a challenge on a play that was clearly an incomplete pass.
Which is the second one he's had to do it. But the good thing is if you get them both right, you get a 3rd challenge.
Twice tonight we've seen Joe Flacco do that, where he has had a kind of a late decision not to throw the ball, tried to pull the ball down, and it's come out of his hand.
And we saw, Tyler Palko have the same thing happen to him. So that's what happens in preseason. You aren't expecting something. Somebody breaks off a route. You're expecting them to break out, and they break in, and you have to try to stop throwing.
After conferring with the crew, it has been determined that the previous play was ruled an incomplete forward pass, which will still bring up 4th down.
But it will not necessitate John Harbaugh to use his challenge flag, so he saves his second challenge flag, and Joe Flacco will talk things over with Cam Cameron and try to figure out if he can't find his timing with anyone but Lee Evans. bizarre to say the least that the new receiver would be the guy who would be in lockstep with, and everybody else a little bit out of sync. Quentin Lawrence is deep, awaiting the Sam Cook punt. Cook has hit another low wobbly. Lawrence will field it for 30. Big block, and Lawrence is sprung free out to the 45-yard line. That time it was Brandon Seiler delivering a serious block on Ravens rookie free agent linebacker Chavis Williams. Welcome to the NFL, as he got absolutely decleated.
Oh my eye.
And I blame that on Sam Cook. You kick those low line drives, you're set up for those crackback blocks.
Yeah, you better have your head on the swivel. I know that. Blame it on yourself for not being ready to get knocked into another stratosphere.
Well, you got to go for the ball, though. You know, you got to have your head in the swivel, but if you're going to make the team, you better go for the ball.
Good news is Williams not shaken up after taking a vicious hit. 1st and 10 Chiefs at the KC 46. Tyler Palko wants to throw. Paul Kruger closing. Palko spins free. Shovel pass is incomplete. Tried to throw the ball along the sideline to Jackie Battle. And Tyler Palko will want to rethink that strategy in the future.
Why did he shuffle it rather than just throw it overhand and get the ball there? This is a long way to try to just shuffle the ball like you're making a double play at second base. Man, that could be picked off when you say it stayed in the air so long.
And guess who was closing in pursuit? Pernell McPhee. Kid is really making a name for himself and carving a rollout for himself in this defense. 2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Palko's pass is complete. Zeke marks Howland, and he takes it out near midfield, about the 49-yard line. They're going to mark that closer to the 50, and it's 3rd down and 6 coming up for KC.
That was interesting. They called the flanker screen, hitch screen to both sides.
Yeah.
And then he read where he had the best chance to complete it. And he read it pre-snap and went out to his left real quick, the Ravens' right. But he had the same play on the other side if the defensive rotation would have went the other way.
Nice job by Danny Gore getting up in and making the tackle, open field tackle that is.
3rd down and 6 for the Chiefs, just shy of midfield. Let's pressure up the middle. Palko under pressure, has to throw the ball, and it is caught inside the Ravens' 40-yard line by Varan Tucker, and that will be good for a KC 1st down.
Boy, you sing a guy praises on one play, and then the next play it comes back and gets you.
Well, I tell you what, Palko has made the touchdown pass in that one. He's almost like jumping back like a fadeaway jump shot, throwing these passes. He's just throwing them to a spot, and the receiver's coming and getting it.
He's going to a spot, and Danny Gore, it's like he's getting turned around, and the receiver is making a play.
1st and 10 KC at the Raven 38. Jackie Battle right side gets around the edge, and Jimmy Smith escorts him out of bounds at the 30-yard line, but not before he gets 9 on the carry and sets up a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, this is the counter play that Jarrett Johnson did such a good job on when the first unit was in there. This time, the outside man did not do a good enough job. You see right here, gets knocked in and loses contain. I'm trying to get a number on
Albert McClellan.
Yeah, Albert McClellan, number 50. Yes, he's got to do a much better job than that.
2nd and 1. Palko hands it off, falling down, and Jackie Battle is taken off his feet as Lardarius Webb and Albert McClellan combined to bring him to a stop at the 29-yard line, close to a 1st down.
Talk about being stout at the point of attack, and that's where, for Albert McClellan, you got to be stout when you're having those tackles come out at you. In this particular case, it looks like Lardarius Webb comes up and really stuffs the run.
3rd and less than a yard, 3rd and inches. Jackie Battle gets the handoff, right side. He's got the 1st down and much more. Down to the 25-yard line, he gets 5. He needed 5 inches, he gets 5 yards, and the Chiefs drive stays alive. Kansas City closed the first half with an 80-yard touchdown drive, and the Chiefs on the move again here with 10 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Hand off to Jackie Battle on 1st down, tries to sidestep his way, and he won't get but a yard down to the 24-yard line. Brandon McKinney on the stop. Albert McClellan lost his helmet. guess you can tell the coaches if you're playing aggressively and hitting hard, it's a good sign your helmet's coming off. But you usually like to be the guy who causes the other guy's helmet to come off.
Yeah, and and this time of year, you're trying to make the team. You're going to be making tackles even if you don't have your helmet on. Not a good idea, but they do it.
2nd down and 9.
I've been accused of that for a number of years.
Hand off to Jackie Battle, and Battle gets.
So that's why you're the way you are.
Maybe a yard to the 24.
That's what they kept saying. Should have kept that helmet on.
And Stan's just talking about this week.
How about Lardarius Webb? Again, we talked to him earlier this week, and just the role he has to play in the slot and all its functions, and part of it is being in run support.
Yep.
And does an excellent job of reading his keys, knowing that it's a run, and knifing down in there and getting in on the tackle.
Blitzing and run support. That's what he did on that one play.
3rd down and 9 for the Chiefs. KC 2 of 2 on 3rd down opportunities so far on this drive. Falco to throw. Comes near sideline, incomplete. Danny Gore on the coverage, and it'll be flagged for interference.
They called holding. Jeez. I thought he was right there with it. I don't think he held him.
Kerry Colbert was the target.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense number 36. 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Take us through it, Stan.
Well, here he is. He's got good position. Yeah, I didn't see anything there. I didn't see anything.
I don't know. I think the referees.
Well, you're a receiver. You think everything's holding.
No, in this particular case, I'm actually for the defensive back.
Oh, all right, then you're okay then.
John Harbaugh was fired up at the end of that play. Didn't agree with that call in the least. Keeps the Chiefs drive alive. 1st and 10 in the Heinz red zone. As Falco drops to the shotgun. Has time. Going to the end zone. He's got a man, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of a diving Zeke Markhausen.
Good throw, though.
It was a good throw.
Yeah, I mean, he almost came up with that catch.
Yeah.
I think when he hit the ground, Ladarius got a little bit of hand in there, but there wasn't a lot of separation, but the ball was right where it had to be.
Just couldn't pull it in.
Yeah.
Zeke Markhausen is 5'11". If he were 6'1", that would have been a little bit of an easier catch. He missed that one literally by an inch or two. 2nd and 10, Chiefs at the Ravens 19. Jackie Battle on the delayed handoff, squeezes his way to the 15-yard line and runs right into Josh Bynes, a rookie free agent out of Auburn. Played on the national champions a year ago, trying to find himself on a championship defense this year with the Ravens in the NFL.
Did a good job. Had a nice hit on Battle here, and really he got very little after the hit. That's what you're looking for in a tackle.
Yeah.
First of all, make the tackle, and second of all, don't give him 2 extra yards or 3 extra yards after contact.
Ravens have a history of finding undrafted rookie free agents who make the team at linebacker. Martin Scott did it, Jameel McClain, Donnell Ellerby. We'll find out if Josh Bynes becomes that next Bynes. 3rd down and 5. Falco to throw. Swing pass is caught. Jackie Battle trying to dance his way. He'll be shy of the 1st down. Stopped at the 11. Had to get inside the 10. And again, it's Josh Bynes on the tackle.
That's where Jason Phillips has to, that's where his weakness. He's pretty good against the run. You get him in the open field, and he has a little bit of a problem, pass coverage, tackling in the open field. When you have a back like this, you better, if you have this issue, you better get closer to him as he catches the ball. You give him a lot of room. It's tough.
You got to come to balance and just sink your hips and make the play.
Ryan Suckup to try a 30-yard field goal from the right hash. And Suckup drills it right between the uprights. 6:58 to play, 3rd quarter. Chiefs in front now, 13-10 on the Ravens game day. 0 for 2 all season long with Papa John's 2-point conversion. That's 2 large, 2-topping pizzas for just $10 each. Call or click papajohns.com to order. We got our Papa John's in the first half. They brought me the mushroom. Brought me the mushroom today.
No chicken. What's up?
Piping hot mushroom.
You have to ask, Stan. You have to say please. Laquan Williams is deep for the Ravens, awaiting the Ryan Suckup kickoff. Suckup's 30-yard field goal gives Kansas City a 13-10 lead. Just under 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Interesting. They got 6 on one side, 4 on the other. They're going to kick it to the left.
As long as they kick it short and get some action. Suckup kicks it long. And Laquan Williams Thinks about it. Now he brings it out 8 yards deep of the end zone. Gets to the 15-yard line, and he'll be spun down at the 16.
Advantage Kansas City.
13-10. Chiefs in front of the Ravens. Third quarter on the Ravens. Game day.
Back.
(13-10) Chiefs in front of the Ravens. Just under 7 minutes to play. Third quarter at M&T, and a quarterback change for the Ravens as Tyrod Taylor comes in to take over for Joe Flacco. Tyrod Taylor last week in Philly led the Ravens in passing and rushing yards. He ran for almost 60 yards, and he showed the athleticism that made the Ravens take him in the 6th round. The former Virginia Tech Hokie has had some flashes. He had some mental breakdowns in his first game. Let's see if he picks up on those as he picks up the offense here in the third quarter. Hands it off to Matt Lawrence, and Lawrence gets the ball out to about the 20-yard line. Here's Director of Player Personnel Eric DaCosta sizing up what the Ravens have seen from Tyrod Taylor in his rookie year with the franchise.
Tyrod Taylor, outstanding athlete. Everybody's been very excited about his progress. He's made great strides throughout and really looks like a guy that's going to have a chance for us down the line as a quarterback, as an outstanding athlete, as a guy who can make plays when the play really breaks down, and getting much better as a passer as well.
Jalen Parmalee in the backfield. Play action for Taylor. He's got to use that athletic ability to step out of a sack, and he throws the ball incomplete. Had Chris Wilson on the sideline, but I think Taylor may have just been trying to get rid of the ball. Joe Flacco, by the way, finished for the night 12 of 24, 124 yards, no TDs, no interceptions.
Yeah, 50% is not good enough. You know, he made some big plays, but he was not accurate tonight. And I think he probably is not pleased with the way he threw the ball, and except for a few plays to Lee Evans.
Well, when you talk about becoming that elite quarterback and believing in yourself, it's certainly 50% won't get it done.
3rd down and 6. Anthony Allen now in the backfield. Taylor throws a quick strike complete. Tandon Doss has it out to the 32-yard line, and a first down for the Ravens. One rookie to another for a 12-yard gain that moves the chains.
Yeah, and Tandon Doss doing a very effective job once again in the middle of the football field. We saw him last week show up against the Eagles, catching passes in the middle of the football field. Again, right here, that quick slant route, knowing you're going to get hit, but he has such strong hands.
Yep.
Very reliable receiver, catching the ball and moving the chains for the Ravens.
Over the middle, that's what he does best.
1st and 10 Ravens at their 32. Jalen Parmalee running to the left side of the offensive line. Nothing there. Backed up. They have lost about a half a yard on the play. That offensive line in the first half didn't give up any sacks. And I don't want to jinx him, but Ja Reed at right tackle has been really holding things down. Last week, Ja Reed played like you would expect a rookie in his first game, very inconsistently. But tonight he has been a consistent performer at the right tackle position. It's one of the big question marks the Ravens have. Now just 2 games away from the start of the regular season. Taylor off the play fake. Throws complete. He had Jonathan Stupar wide open at midfield. And Tyrod Taylor is going to wish he had a do-over on that.
Oh, man, that's just what you call power pass. You're taking the power and bringing up the safety, and then all of a sudden nobody's there for that sail, that out route by the tight end, and you just got to make that. Got to make that throw.
Yeah, you just got to drop it in there. I think he was a little too excited seeing his guy wide open. You got to make that throw. That's an NFL throw. Even that wasn't really much
not
pressure.
Much pressure, not really.
No.
A little hand afterwards, you know.
Well, here's some pressure now. 3rd and 10 from the 32. Chiefs showing the blitz, and here it comes. Big up the middle. Tyrod Taylor's pass is incomplete. May have been deflected. It was intended for Chris Wilson. And Donald Washington may have gotten a fingertip on it because he seems to have distracted Wilson from the reception.
Well, that's the way he should have thrown the last one.
Yeah.
You know, with a little touch and just let the tight end run under it. This time, the defender was just in great position, almost intercepted that pass. 2 guys almost intercepted it.
Well, I tell you what, Chris Wilson could have made a name for himself, though, off of that deflection, catching that ball in space.
He'd be like Pitta, go over the top of him, catch it, you know.
Quentin Lawrence deep, waiting for the Sam Cook punt. And the Ravens with a false start.
False start. Offense, number 49. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Anthony Leon, rookie free agent. Well, we've talked about this. You try to find a way to make a name for yourself. Maybe we need to further clarify that. You want to make a good name for yourself. It's a bad feeling when you are a rookie and your name is called out by the referee, your number's called out. You know all the coaches are looking at you.
We better get down there and make the tackle now.
Yeah, because you think I just took 3 weeks of work and wasted it. Much better punt by Sam Cook. He crushed this one over Lawrence's head, bounces inside the 10, and the Ravens will try to, but cannot get it before the ball trickles into the end zone. A 73-yard punt by Sam Cook. And our score remains 13-10. Chiefs in front of the Ravens. A penalty flag down at the end of that punt. And Gene Steratore talking it over with the officiating crew. Sam Cook unleashed a monster punt. Sailed over Lawrence's head. And now Todd Haley wants to get the call from Gene Steratore. It may have just been an official putting his cap down.
I think he's saying punt it again, so it looks like it might be on the Ravens.
Well, it could have been a...
Gene Steratore not entirely clear of what the particulars are on this, but you can see the special teams reforming on the Chiefs sideline. An official talking with John Harbaugh. So both head coaches trying to get some clarification. We have received no preliminary signals. Now we're going to get word from Gene Steratore as to the nature of the call.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 41 of the kicking team was out of bounds and did not attempt to make an immediate return in the field of play. The penalty will be half the distance to the goal from the previous spot, and we will replay 4th down.
Well, what a big penalty that is.
Talmadge Jackson, a rookie free agent, trying to make this team as a defensive back. The penalty, this is one of those rules. If you go out of bounds, you have to try to get back in bounds immediately. Talmadge Jackson ran for about 20 yards along the chalk. That's illegal. It's called unsportsmanlike conduct. And it negates a 73-yard punt that would have been a net 53-yard punt for Sam Cook. So instead, now Sam Cook will have to punt backed up into the Ravens end zone. And we'll see. The ball would have been at the Kansas City 20 at the end of that last punt. Let's see what the net difference of this penalty will be after Cook tries it again.
This will be a 25, 30-yard penalty.
Chiefs come after it. Cook gets it off cleanly. He had another beauty. Lawrence backpedals to the 25. Another penalty flag down. His return to the 40, midfield, and he's pushed out of bounds in Ravens territory at the 47-yard line. But this was going to back up Kansas City because it appears the Chiefs are the guilty party this time around.
It would have been a 33-yard penalty if it wouldn't had the offsetting penalty here. This may go all the way back to where he caught the ball and then back them up halfway to their goal line, depending on where it should go from the 27 on back.
During the kick, holding, number 30 of the receiving team. Penalty is 10 yards from the end of the kick. 1st down, Kansas City. Timeout.
Chiefs ball when we come back. KC in front, 13-10. 3rd quarter on the Ravens Game Day Network. To 8915 to download today only from Verizon, official wireless service provider of the Baltimore Ravens. 3rd quarter, 4:24 left in the quarter. Ravens trail the Chiefs 13-10. How about Sam Cook? Back-to-back punts. Hit a 73-yarder, then a 58-yarder. And because of the Chiefs penalty, the 58-yarder actually nets more yards for the Ravens as the Chiefs now start at their own 17.
36-yard penalty for them on that play.
Jackie Battle takes the pitch, but is put on pause as the Chiefs jump the gun at the snap.
Make that 38.
Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Ricky Stanzi has checked in at quarterback for Kansas City, the 5th round draft pick out of Iowa. Got a wristband with the plays on it. He'll be looking down for the calls. So you know there's still a rather healthy number of butterflies flapping around in his belly as he comes into his second NFL game. Stanzi will throw. Kruger with pressure. Will check down pass. Screen complete out to the 10-yard line. Jackie Battle taken down there.
That's the kind of Ravens defense that I'm used to seeing.
Good read.
Go, pressure the quarterback, and now you find the football, swarm to the football, and make the tackle. No extra yards gained.
McPhee and McClellan both there to read that screen. It was not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
Paul Kruger had great pressure as well. We've seen a lot of pressure from Paul Kruger in the first 2 games. He was a guy who was really slow to find his way. Jackie Battle slow to get to the sideline with the help of the training staff. What do you see differently from Paul Kruger this year, because he's making plays and he's having an impact?
I think he's more natural linebacker than he was a defensive end last year. They tried to move him after his rookie year and probably thought, well, maybe we got to find a spot for him. He's a second-round pick. But now he's back to where he can be up and down and blitz and drop, and I think he's more of that type of player. So he's at home now.
He stands in to throw. Has time, fires complete out of the 35-yard line and spun down at the 40-yard line. Baran Tucker taken down by Haruki Nakamura.
That's Jason Phillips in coverage. He was right there, and all of a sudden he fell down. Watch him. He's dropping right here, and he knows what's going on. He falls down, and if he didn't, he would maybe intercepted that pass. You got to have great feet to make that change of direction.
Great feet, change of direction, shifting your hips, opening them up. He looked very stiff right there. That's not making a name for yourself.
28-yard gain for the Kansas City Chiefs, who have 1st and 10 at their 39. Stanzi off the play fake. Blitz pressure coming. Stanzi on the run. Prescott Burgess chases him out of bounds. And Burgess, lucky he didn't catch Stanzi in the last yard, because Stanzi was out of bounds when Burgess dove for him.
They're lucky he missed him as he went out of bounds. Prescott, but again, you know, you're trying to get that sack as a defender. He took a bad angle here. If he'd have stayed wider to begin with, he'd have had him. And you're right, Jerry. If he would have hit him a little more solidly out there, they'd have probably, you know, they like to call that sideline penalty a lot.
And here's the thing guys don't always remember. Because Stanzi lost yardage, it's recorded as a sack. It was a 2-yard loss, so he gets the sack. He almost got a penalty instead. 2nd down and long 11, short 12. You're an optimist or a pessimist. Stanzi throws near sideline, complete. Zeke Markshausen on the reception out to the 46-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd down and 3 for Kansas City. Like the arm you've seen so far if you're a Kansas City Chief coach from Ricky Stanzi.
Ricky Stanzi is making some throws. He's making some very decisive throws as well. Palco, Castle, and Stanzi, all 3 quarterbacks are looking very impressive against this Ravens secondary.
Stanzi had a lot of big games at Iowa. They won a lot of games with him at quarterback. He did some with his feet, some with his arm.
Played for Kirk Ferentz. Ferentz, if you remember back in the 90s, was the Ravens offensive line coach. So he knows how to groom his quarterback for this league. Stanzi's pass, all kind of ugly and incomplete. After we praised his passing, he misses Mike Cox. So it's punt team for Kansas City. For our radio partners on tonight's simulcast, we want to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Ravens Game Day Network. 4th down and 3 coming up for Kansas City. Punt team is on. And Lardarius Webb will await the punt for the Ravens to see if he can't break one here. Lardarius in the first quarter fumbled his first punt return opportunity, so you know he has spent much of his night looking for that make good. See if he gets it here. Colquitt hangs one way up in the lights. And Webb makes the fair catch. Ravens will be backed up inside their 10 when we get back to M&T. 13-10 Chiefs on the Ravens Game Day Network. Ladies, you know it's true. Real women love football. Purple is the official club for female Ravens fans. Membership is free. Benefits include team updates, special offers, discounts, your own events, and more. Sign up today at BaltimoreRavens.com/purple. Ravens with the ball, 1st and 10 at their 9-yard line. 1:20 left in the 3rd quarter. Ravens trailing the Chiefs by a field goal. Jalen Parmalee, Ryan Mahaffey in the backfield behind Tyrod Taylor, getting his 2nd game of NFL experience. Give us to Parmalee, tries to cut back, and he'll be spun down right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Ramon Harewood is in at tackle, big number 78, second-year player, spent last year on the injured reserve list, and the kind of player who could have been seriously hurt by the lockout. Those are the players who needed this offseason to work with the coaches, get the conditioning in. A huge kid, 6'6", 340 pounds, great athlete, has great feet, but does not have a lot of experience, and he'll try to pick up some of it tonight. Parmalee the deep back, Taylor throw out of his own end zone, pocket collapsing, and Taylor is dragged down back at the 2-yard line by Justin Houston.
That was called a coverage sack. Had nowhere to go with the football. Receivers couldn't separate from the defensive backs, and now Tyrod Taylor's looking around and there's nowhere to go. See him dropping back, and he's in position and ready to deliver the ball, but no one's open to throw it to, and you're going to get sacked when you hold the ball that long in the NFL.
Yep, either was a coverage sack, or he couldn't find the right receiver in the coverage that was there.
The receivers that I'm watching on the football field, none of them had separation for him to deliver the ball to him.
The only one I saw was the back checking down out of the backfield.
Stan Q and Jerry with you in the Aerotech Broadcast Center. 3rd down and 16 coming up from the end zone. Taylor's pass is incomplete, intended for Jonathan Stupar, and Taylor just got that ball off before he was sacked for a safety.
One of the things that is your best friend is the check down throw. And certainly when you're looking through your reads and you find no one there, checking the ball down is the way to go to get rid of the ball and let your running back or your tight end get the ball upfield, get some sort of positive gain. That time there was a lot of pressure on Tyrod and unable to get the ball out to Stupar.
Sam Cook backed up his heels against the chalk in the back of the end zone, punting to Quentin Lawrence. Cook gets it off. This one a wobbler, but deep. And Lawrence fields it at the 42. It's across midfield. Flag is down. Lawrence taken off his feet at the Ravens' 43-yard line. Well, the punt returns have produced a steady rain of penalty flags. 54-yard punt for Sam Cook, 14-yard return. Speaking of rain, we've dodged one tonight.
Yes.
They called for thunderstorms and all kind of bad weather, and for whatever reason, the storms all skirted M&T so far tonight.
So far is what you said. Till Q goes down to the sideline.
During the kick, personal foul face mask, number 49 of the receiving team. 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down, Kansas City. And that is also the end of the 3rd quarter.
15 minutes of football left at M&T. We head to the final quarter with the Ravens trailing the Kansas City Chiefs 13-10 our score. Let's see if the Ravens youngsters can bring them back on the Ravens Game Day Network. Start of the 4th quarter at M&T. Ravens trailing by a field goal 13-10. The second half story has been very little productivity for the Ravens offense, and while the veterans like Haloti Ngata watch on, there are a lot of young players trying to make this roster. They're going to have to pick up the pace on both sides. Kansas City has outgained the Ravens 72 to 11 yards in the second half. On first down, the give is to Mike Cox. Cox tries to barrel his way around the right side. He's taken down to the 30-yard line. Mana Silva, rookie free agent out of Hawaii, coming up to make the stop.
Yeah, good support by the safety. McClellan again, the same counter play. Didn't quite get the squeeze down and be able to take the outside cut. Got hands on him, but the good thing the safety was there to clean up for him.
Mana Silva, one of the rookie free agents that coaches have praised for his play in training camp, and he benefited from the fact that with the new collective bargaining agreement, several of the veterans could not show up the first week of training camp, so guys like Mana Silva got the full attention of Chuck Pagano. Second down and 8. Ricky Stanzi of the Chiefs. Stanzi to throw. Blitz pressure. Pocket collapses. And the Ravens get to Ricky Stanzi. And that time, Ricky Stanzi had no chance. Lamar Divins first on the scene. Jason Phillips came from the linebacker spot. And then the Ravens just squeezed down the clamps. Josh Bynes was blitzing on the outside. And that's the kind of pressure we're starting to expect to see from Chuck Pagano.
Yeah, McPhee again, heavy hands getting to the quarterback.
3rd sack for the Ravens defense tonight.
He's knocking people back with his hand shivers.
3rd down and 14. Big chance to pick off a rookie quarterback here. Here comes the blitz, and the Ravens get to him. Haruki Nakamura at the last minute saw a gap, darted through it, and wrapped up Ricky Stanzi. Stanzi never got his feet set, and the punt team comes on for Kansas City.
Well, you said at the last minute, you see the back was trying to step up and pick him up, get in front of the quarterback, but he hit the A gap, which is directly right in front of the quarterback, and the back could not step up, couldn't get around the quarterback to get to him. So great timing by Haruki on that play, made the sack.
4th sack for the defense. Lardarius Webb is deep. Haruki Nakamura is trying to fight for a starting position. Those kind of plays will help his cause. Dustin Colquitt, another beauty, hangs in the evening air. Webb pulls it down and works his way out to about the 37-yard line. Tyrod Taylor will get the ball courtesy of the aggressive Ravens pass rush here on the Ravens Game Day Network. Kansas City Chiefs, and it's part of the equation for the Ravens battle at safety, standing at 6 guys battling probably for 4 jobs and 3 guys battling for 1 starting job.
Well, yeah, and I think those 4 on the left, Zbikowski, Pollard, Reed, and Nakamura, are going to make this team. Haruki just makes plays. He's very valuable in a lot of different ways he can do things.
Jalen Parmalee in the backfield. Tyrod Taylor to throw on 1st down. It's incomplete off the outstretched hands of Jonathan Stupar. Stupar, 3rd-year tight end, started his career with the Buffalo Bills. And for Ravens fans, it's probably a little bit disorienting to see number 86 going across the middle for a pass without having the word heap on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Jonathan Stupar, Virginia, coached him in that U.S. Army All-American game with Tyler Palko and several of the Ravens, Tavares Gooden, Tom Zbikowski. Great high school player.
Tyrod Taylor, 1 of 6 tonight. Looking to improve those numbers here, but he won't get a chance. He is sacked, taken down at the 32-yard line by Justin Houston. So the offense lacking a spark in the second half. Tyrod Taylor was all about a spark in his first game against the Philadelphia Eagles. His passing was not always well thought out or consistent, but his running was spectacular. Tonight, sitting in the pocket more and not making plays tonight so far.
Well, you see it on film, and then when you come in, you tell your people, you know, stay in your lanes. Don't get out of your lane. Just beat the guy, stay in your lanes. He will hesitate, and you will get to him. Don't allow him way out.
Taylor to throw on 3rd and 16. He's on the run. Throws complete out to the 35-yard line. And Jodrick Morris works his way across the 40 out to the 42, but the punt team is coming on the field. We head down to the field. Kadri standing by with Jared Johnson.
And Jared Johnson, this is kind of par for the course for you to come out here, put in some hard work, and put on the hat. Assess your performance tonight.
Yeah, we were excited about playing these guys. You know, last week we played, you know, Philly, and they're more of a West Coast. They threw it, you know, like 10 plays in a row. I think they had 1 running play in there, but we were excited about playing these guys. Really good running game, good young team. So, you know, we came out and played pretty good against them.
Real quickly, how is it for you coming back this season healthy and being able to play injury-free?
It's really good. You know, I had a good offseason. You know, we had 1 little minor surgery, but nothing big, and had a great offseason. Everybody came in great shape, especially with the lockout. Nobody knew how guys were going to handle it. And guys came in looking good. You can tell they've been working out, so it was a good offseason.
Appreciate your time, man, and have a healthy season indeed.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
All right, back up to you, Jerry.
Quentin Lawrence on the fair catch from the Sam Cook punt. A penalty flag is down. This one's going to go against Kansas City and back up the Chiefs. Gene Steratore, the referee, getting together with his crew and pulling together the particulars. But it's a good opportunity for the Ravens with 11:30 left. If the defense can force the Chiefs 3 and out here, Tyrod Taylor and the offense will come back on the field with an opportunity to either tie or take the lead. And that offense up front starting to get a little bit tired. Ja Reed has played the entire game at right tackle. Great opportunity for the rookie. O'Neal Cousins has worked the entire night at right guard. So both of those players.
Defense, 12 men. Penalty is declined. 1st down. Timeout.
11:30 left to play in the ball game. 13-10 Chiefs in front of the Ravens on the Ravens Game Day Network. Ravens.com to get the most up-to-date information on your team, including breaking news, stats, the latest on the Ravens programs, events, much more. Plus, catch exclusive video footage of your favorite Raven players and coaches at the Ravens Playbook Media Center on BaltimoreRavens.com. All access, all the time. On the topic of time, 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in our game. 13-10, Ravens trailing the Chiefs. For Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs, it's all about watching now and seeing if young Ravens can produce a comeback. On first down, Mike Cox will carry the ball across the 10-yard line to the 12-yard line for the Chiefs. Cornell Banks on the tackle, a rookie free agent out of Fresno State.
Jason Phillips did a good job of scraping off of from the inside to the out and making the play in the hole. That was a real nice job by him. He does play the run well. He's got to get better, though. In the NFL, you have to be able to cover the pass.
These are the plays where you're going to have to prove it to Chuck Pagano that he can rely on you in the fall. Cox again on the carry, bounces out to the left side, gets out to the 19-yard line, and he will be close to a first down. Looks like he has enough for the first down. The Chiefs will move the chains.
Hey, Jared, you noticed when Q had that interview with Jarrett Johnson, said I had a healthy offseason, only one operation.
Sure sign of a veteran when that's how you measure good health. Only one
operation, yeah.
You get to Jarrett Johnson's point in your career. For Jarrett Johnson, this is year number 9. You start to look at double digits of surgeries. First and 10. Nancy hands it off. And Cox is met by Albert McClellan and thrown down right at the line of scrimmage.
Good play, good fill, good anchoring of the end of the line by Albert McClellan. You know, he's got knocked out there a couple times by some big guys, but you got a tight end blocking on him at 6'2", 255. He's doing a good job with that.
Spent last year on the practice squad as an undrafted rookie free agent. Talked about that earlier. This organization has the ability to find linebackers in ways other than just the draft. Second down and 10. Stanzi slant pattern incomplete. Sailed well over the head of Moran Tucker.
Good read, bad throw.
And a third down coming up.
He had 2 safeties coming off the corners, a full boat in the middle, nobody dropping. He's just got to hit that. He just threw it badly. I mean, that's wide open. There's nobody there for the slant because it was vacated by the blitzers, and he just got, as a quarterback, he's got to hit that.
So the Chiefs trying to figure out their backup situation. You know, Matt Castle will be taking the majority of the snaps this year for Todd Haley. Tyler Palco looks like the backup. Ricky Stanzi looks like the long-term project. Third down and 10 for Ricky Stanzi and the Chiefs. And KC.
The clock
delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Looked like the sideline wanted to get a timeout in, but Ricky Stanzi was not aware of the play clock. If you are a rookie quarterback, they've gone through training camp, you get some game experience, it's still coming so fast, there's so much. You're trying to look at your offensive formation, the defensive formation. I don't think rookie quarterbacks could even find the play clock at a stadium, could they?
No, but you can call timeout from the sideline if you really wanted to. Jim Zorn, of course, now with the Kansas City Chiefs, very upset about that. He puts him in a really tough situation for a rookie.
Going the quarterback coach for the Ravens a year ago, now with KC. Short flanker screen, and that'll net a couple of yards as Kerry Colbert is taken off his feet after a gain of a couple, and the punt team coming on for the Chiefs. And that will set up a great opportunity now with good field position for the Ravens offense and young quarterback Tyrod Taylor. Defense does its job, keeps Kansas City deep in its own territory. Now Tom Zbikowski will be deep for the Ravens. You love Zbikowski as a punt returner, don't you?
He's had some great years as a punt returner at Notre Dame, and I think you know, he's tough. He's actually a lot faster than you think he is.
Olquist's punt. Fair catch signal by Zbikowski. Settles under. Makes the grab at the 35-yard line. Good field position for the Ravens when we return. 13-10. Chiefs lead it. Fourth quarter on the Ravens Game Day Network. His blitz went in untouched and spun down Ricky Stanzi for the sack. And a rookie Nakamura's blitz sack is our Miller good call of the game. And now it's up to Tyrod Taylor to come up with the execution on Cam Cameron's call. His pass to David Reed is dropped by the second-year receiver. Reed came off the physically unable to perform list this past week, looking to run with the ball before he caught it.
He could be a major addition to this Raven offense because he's got the speed like Lee Evans does to get downfield. Good kick returner. We saw him return a kick for a touchdown last year against Houston that ended up being a vital play in winning that game in overtime. But he had this wrist injury. He's having a hard time staying healthy and now catching the ball.
On 2nd and 10, draw play goes to Jalen Parmalee. And Parmalee grinds his way out to the 39-yard line. It will be a 3rd down and 6 coming up for Tyrod Taylor and this Ravens offense. The offense having very little spark, only 18 yards here in the second half. 1 first down. You know, each game as an organization, you come out of a preseason game and you ask yourself, okay, what do we need now to make our coaches like Cam Cameron more effective with what they're going to do in the regular season? Last week, the answer was need a wide receiver. They found one in Lee Evans. Question now, do they need a backup quarterback? Taylor's pass is caught. First down out of the 48-yard line, and it's David Reed on the reception.
Good, because he needs to catch some. He needs to get his confidence. He has big time ability. He just has to go out and make plays and know he can make plays.
And I want to be clear, I'm not picking on Tyrod Taylor. I think he's got a lot of excitement. I think he can and will play for a while in this league. But it's not the situation that you want to have a rookie as your backup quarterback. For a potential Super Bowl team, you want your backup to be a seasoned veteran in case he has to carry the club for a couple of weeks. Taylor's pass to Reed, incomplete, but penalty flags draped on the field. And that's because Jaleel Brown was draped all over Reed running down the sideline.
Yeah, nobody's arguing. Not even
pass interference defense. Number 30 spotted a foul. Automatic first down.
You know it's a flagrant penalty when the referee in tonight's game, Gene Steratore, doesn't confer with 16 people before getting on the microphone.
Didn't have to. He just pushed him and the ball wasn't there yet. It's almost a good deke by David Reed, pretending like the ball was coming, and the defender went for it and pushed him, and the ball wasn't there yet.
25-yard gain on the interference call. 1st and 10 Ravens at the Chiefs 28. Play action. Taylor in trouble. Sprints beyond the reach of a oncoming Chief, and his pass complete to Reed. He turns the corner on the sideline and gets all the way down to the 10-yard line, putting the ball in the Heinz red zone on an 18-yard gain.
And that's what Tyrod Taylor could do the best. This is a cross from the whole one side of the field all the way to the other. You got to buy time, and he bought a lot of time with his feet. He avoided 2-3 defenders coming free. That would have been hard for any other quarterback on this roster to make that play.
1st and goal from the 10. Jalen Parmalee's running it in for the touchdown, and the Ravens have regained the lead on a 10-yard touchdown run by Jalen Parmalee.
2 big plays in a row, both with their legs. One ended up a pass down to about the 10, and then a run right into the end zone. This is a hard run by Jalen Parmalee. He is going 100 miles an hour as he hits the hole, allows him to break a tackle and then get into the end zone. That's a big play for Jalen.
Parmalee, a guy who had his eyes on that backup running back position behind Ray Rice. You know, he saw a lot of his snaps disappear when Ricky Williams arrived, but he is trying to earn the confidence of the coaches with plays like that. Extra point is good. And with 7:16 left to play in the ball game, our score now, Ravens 17, Chiefs 13. The Jalen Parmalee touchdown, a difference maker on the Ravens Game Day Network. We invite you to visit the AAA Ravens Walk between parking lots B and C on the north side of the stadium. It opens 3 hours before kickoff, includes bars, food stations, a huge 9 by 12 foot television. Catch the early bird special during the first 2 hours on the AAA Ravens Walk. You get 2 beverages for the price of 1. The Ravens Walk is your stop for the ultimate pre-game tailgate. Billy Cundiff to kick off following the Jalen Parmalee go-ahead touchdown. Jeremy Horn is deep for the Chiefs, with the Ravens leading 17-13. 7:16 left to play in the game. Monday kickoff. They go to the end zone. Horn takes it 5 yards deep. He wants to bring it out. After his own man to get out of the end zone, and he will be bottled up at the 19-yard line. Chiefs ball when we get back to M&T. Ravens in front, 17-13 on the Ravens Game Day Network. 17-13. Ravens in front of the Chiefs. A little more than 7 minutes left A few minutes ago, running backs coach Wilbert Montgomery greeted Jalen Parmley on the sideline, told him, go get that football. You just scored a touchdown. Savor the memories. So who I guess, Stan, preseason games do matter sometimes.
Well, yes. Yeah, because you remember that touchdown. You just remember every touchdown you have in the NFL. They don't get that many, so when you get one, get that football.
Both of them tonight rushing touchdowns. Ricky stands in and throws, play action. Screen pass complete to Mike Cox, and Cox hurdles his way across the 25-yard line out to the 28-yard line. A pickup of 8, 2nd down and 2 coming up. For young players on this Ravens defense, and obviously this is not the Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs defense that we'll see in a couple of weeks, but for young players, Mana Silva, Josh Victorian, not household names. They're names that are trying to show up on the final 53-man roster. Albert McClellan, and the way you do that is to stop the Chiefs here and show Chuck Pagano that you can be relied on when the game's on the line. Cox and Bannon in the backfield for the Chiefs. Let's pressure. Ricky Stanzi is going to be wrapped up and thrown down back at the 16-yard line by Brian Hall. Another one of those rookie free agents trying to stick around when preseason gives way to September.
I think he should go get the ball and save it too. You know, how many times you might get a chance to get a sack in the NFL. Just did a great job of coming through and beating his man. I mean, that's the whole basis in defense is beat the guy in front of you and get to the football.
Brian Hall delivers the 5th sack for the Ravens defense tonight, and it backs up the Chiefs into a 3rd and 12. Back at the KC 18, 5:51 left. Blitz pressure coming up the middle. Stanzi's pass incomplete at the 30-yard line. He was looking for Jeremy Horn, and Horn well covered by Randy Gorer.
And no penalty on that one, Randy. The last time he had a breakup on 3rd down, they called the penalty, which I didn't think was a penalty. But that's the good thing is it didn't make him less than aggressive. So he went in and played the ball in the air and just had good timing. It was actually that backhand around that hit the ball out of the receiver's hands.
Tom Zbikowski's deep, awaiting the Dusty Colquitt punt. Zbikowski will track it down inside the 30-yard line. He can't field it cleanly, but the ball trickles out of bounds. Now the Ravens will take possession at their 27-yard line. Tyrod Taylor led a touchdown drive last time after being stuck in neutral for much of the 3rd quarter, for all of the 3rd quarter. Now let's see if he can't grind out the last 5.5 minutes off the clock. This, in the regular season, is what the Ravens have largely rebuilt their offense to do. With Vontae Leach as the fullback, they want to be able to control the clock in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, 4-minute drill, they call it. It's really 5 minutes and 33 to go now, but what they're saying is run out the clock, run out those last 4 minutes, control the clock, and don't give it back to them and give them a chance to beat you.
Don't always rely on the defense to put it away in the 4th quarter. To the ground game, the Ravens go. Parmley on the carry. He'll get a couple. Maybe one out to the 29-yard line. Heading down to the sideline, Kadri Ismail standing by with defensive lineman Corey Redding.
Corey, the first team defense went out and set the tone early tonight, huh?
That's one of the things we wanted to do, was set the tone at home. And we went out there, and even though we don't have our fearless leader with us, he was still in there, getting tackles. I think I got like 4 tackles tonight. But, we did a good job tonight. Everybody stayed in their gaps. We played hard, and we ran to the ball.
What's your goals this year for yourself personally?
Just to get better, man. Get better and help my team go as far as we want to go. We know our goals, and, we don't really talk about it. We just, we be about it. Go out there, put work on the field. But to get around that quarterback as much as possible, get some sacks, make a lot of tackles, and really do great things for our team.
Best of luck to you this year, my man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, Corey. Back up to you, Jerry.
Thank you, Q. During that interview with Corey Redding, Tyrod Taylor with a 41-yard reception to David Reed to put the ball down at the Kansas City 31.
Very reminiscent of the one Lee Evans caught. These two guys are the speed that we've talked about. If you can make plays like that, it keeps the defense from putting 8-9 men in the box in this last 4 minutes to be able to stop you. Because that's what they're trying to do. Now you got to go back and you have to keep some people out of the box. You got to respect them.
And those defensive players happen to stay on the sideline. For so many years, the defense for the Ravens, for John Harbaugh, has known that if they had to, they were the ones who were going to have to shut the door. This year, John Harbaugh and Cam Cameron want to have an offense that can shut the door the way they did the first year that Harbaugh was here and the Ravens had one of the elite run games. This time it's the pass game that comes up with the big play. David Reed, nothing fancy about this play, Stan. He just takes off and makes the catch.
Yeah, it was just a great catch by Reed. He went up and got the ball. The defender never saw it. Reed did. He out-jumped him. And the strong hands to be able to come down with that football and keep possession when he hit the ground. That's what I mean. This speed that David Reed and Lee Evans now bring, I feel, like I said, I feel a lot better right now than I did a week ago about the receiving core of the Ravens.
What Kadri said at the beginning of the game, one of the keys is make a name, make an impact. Certainly David Reed has done that here in the second half. Lee Evans in the first half. Anthony Allen on the carry. He's inside the 25. Still on his feet until he gets down close to a first down, about a yard shy at the 23-yard line.
Perfect. You're better off. I'd rather be second and 1 here than it would be first down. Because now you got a couple downs you can waste with time to get the first down.
Anthony Allen, the 7th-round draft pick out of Georgia Tech, trying to make the most of his opportunities tonight with 3:38 left in the game. Allen played in that offense they have at Georgia Tech, which doesn't resemble anything in the NFL, so he was a hard projection for NFL teams. Gets the handoff here, big hole inside the 15, down to the 10 and the 9, and it's a Ravens first down, first and goal in the Heinz red zone, as Anthony Allen puts together impressive back-to-back runs.
Yeah, they're doing a good job on the left side of that line. Tell you what, Ramon Harwood on the previous play got into the second level. This time he knocked his man back. So the big man is opening up some holes in that the left side of that line for the running back,
Jerry
Anthony Allen.
Stan and Q with you from the Aerotech Broadcast Center as the Ravens try to put this game away. 2:51 left in the ball game. Give us to Allen, running left, works his way down to about the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 4. It'll be second and goal from there.
I think they're going to keep running the same play over and over again until they stop him. Why not? If it's working, you know, they said, you can keep calling that play. He said, yeah, I got another play in mind when they stop this one.
Well, and you mentioned Ramon Harewood at left tackle. You're not only giving your rookie running back a chance at some reps, you're also getting a look at essentially a rookie left tackle.
Yeah, and the left guard, Justin Boren, he's doing a good job up there. They seem to like him quite a bit.
See if Anthony Allen gets the call on second and goal. Play action, Tyrod Taylor dances his way around a short sack, darts for the corner, lunges, and it's going to be ruled down just shy of the goal line. What an athletic play by Tyrod Taylor. Justin Houston had him in
now it's a touchdown.
And now they rule it a touchdown.
Yeah, how could they not the first time?
This officiating crew must be politicians. They do everything by committee.
I know. I hate to say it's preseason for them, too, because they do the same stuff in the regular season.
Tyrod Taylor looked like he was going to be dropped for a big loss off the play fake. Instead, he went hip and head fake left. Justin Houston bid on it, and Tyrod Taylor went around the right for his first touchdown as a Raven. And now Jacob Harfman out of USC is on to attempt the extra point.
What about the hay?
Previous play is under review.
Well, better hold that hay.
Well, we never actually put hay in the barn in preseason.
Okay.
Because preseason is a working project. Hay is strictly a regular season event.
That's a touchdown.
And here's an update on NFL rule changes. There was no challenge flag thrown on this. You couldn't do a challenge flag if you wanted to because you're inside of 2 minutes.
No, the play started outside of 2 minutes, so you'd have had to challenge it.
In this case, though, because it's a scoring play, coaches don't throw a challenge flag. All scoring plays are automatically reviewed in the replay booth, and then the replay official sends down a message on the referee's pager, and the message will either say confirmed or review. In this case, Gene Steratore looked down at his pager, and he saw the word review, so he heads under the hood and takes a look.
I guess they just felt like since it's a scoring play that means the game, they have to review it because unless one of his feet were out of bounds before he jumped, there's not much question about this.
Taylor got around the edge. He was on a dart sprint for the pylon
He outstretched the ball with 2 hands and got it inside. It was really just a bootleg. It was not a pass. It was a bootleg because they had run that play, 4 straight times, so they ran the same play, and it was a naked bootleg. He did a great job because the linebacker didn't go for the fake.
Justin Houston had the boot read perfectly.
Yeah, he just didn't make the play.
And all of a sudden, it looked like Justin Houston was wearing cement boots when Tyrod Taylor put a wicked move on him and then bolted for the pylon. Houston came crashing down from the outside.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touchdown.
Confirmed.
There you go.
There's no doubt he was well inside the pylon with that football, with no feet hitting the white out of bounds area.
Just a stupendous move by Tyrod Taylor. That is a level of athletic quickness that you can never hope to coach, develop. It's just born there or it is not there.
Well, it was that play and then the pass that he threw to the crossing route to David Reed. Very similar.
Jacob Hartman's extra point is good. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and the Ravens have the lead, 24-13 in front of the Kansas City Chiefs here on the Ravens Game Day Network. The Kansas City Chiefs, David Reed with 3 receptions in the second half. Tyrod Taylor turning on the speed and sprinting in for a 5-yard touchdown. What a turnaround in the fourth quarter for the young players on the Ravens offense. Stand in the second half, the Ravens' first 4 possessions had 14 yards and 4 punts. In their last 2 possessions, 138 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Big plays, some with his feet and arms by Tyrod Taylor. And then they just started ramming the ball. You got them loosened up with those plays, and then they just started ramming the ball right down their throat. So, the important thing about winning preseason games is makes the coaches happy and makes practice easier.
Monday's always more fun at the preseason after a win. Damon Washington is deep, awaiting the Jacob Hartman kickoff. Hartman's kick, this one might be returnable. Comes down at the goal line. Washington brings it across the 10, 15, hits a wall at the 20 and is stopped at the 21. 1:52 left to play as Ricky Stanzi comes on for a last go-round tonight for Kansas City. The Chiefs likely headed for their second straight loss in preseason. They lost 25-0 to Tampa Bay in their preseason opener. The Ravens looking to enjoy their first preseason win.
Well, they'd have been shut out in this game except for the punt that was fumbled and then that 2-minute drive. That's basically the 2-minute drive is about all they've had in this football game.
Ricky Stanzi will spread it out. Short drop. Ooh. And his pass is complete to the 30-yard line. William Chandler on the reception. No huddle down for Kansas City. Chiefs have all 3 timeouts remaining. Chance for the Ravens to run their 2-minute defense. Stanzi's pass is incomplete. William Chandler trying to make the reception. Ball underthrown, stops the clock with 1:32. Much of the crowd has made its way out of M&T, but a great turnout tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Preseason game on a night when weather was very much a concern.
Yeah, talking to the Ravens, they were afraid that the weather might keep people away.
Blitz pressure, and the pass falls incomplete.
But it didn't.
Zeke Markhausen was the intended target, and that time Talmadge Jackson came on the blitz and forced Ricky Stanzi to unload the ball a little sooner than he wanted to. Brings up a 4th down and 2. For Ricky Stanzi, clock stop, 1:26 left to play. And the 77, the tackle for the Chiefs, Mike Ingersoll.
It's going to toss him a timeout.
He took his shoe off and flung it to the sideline, and then he sat down.
This is ridiculous.
He couldn't get his foot back in the shoe, so he just launched the shoe to this, waving it to the sideline, chucks it to the sideline, decides to come back in and realizes he can't play without a shoe on, so he sits down and tries to simulate a wrestling tap out.
I don't know what he thinks that was going to accomplish other than costing his team a timeout.
Instead of a tap out, the NFL, it's a timeout. The MMA is great for off-season conditioning, but not in-season strategy. Fourth down pass deflected and intercepted. Josh Victorian comes down with a deflected pick, and the Ravens will put this one away as Josh Victorian, the rookie free agent out of Louisiana Tech, gets a highlight to remember.
He should save that ball. Let's put it that way.
That's another ball that Ed Carroll
sure.
doesn't have to keep track of after tonight. Ravens equipment manager happy to give a ball away to a rookie who comes out with his first NFL interception. So Josh Victorian, a summer's worth of work paying some dividends in Chuck Pagano's defense tonight.
You know, on fourth down, you should just knock it down, but if you got a chance to make an interception, you make the interception.
You're a rookie in your first training camp, you take the pick. Hunter Cantwell comes in to wrap things up at quarterback for the Ravens. Second-year quarterback out of Louisville. Oh, the hunch. He's not going to throw the ball much. So much for that hunch. Play action. He's going for the end zone. And he's got Laquan Williams inside the 5, and he's taken down at the 3-yard line. And that's the beauty of everybody having the same hunch as I did. We all bid on the play fake. A 38-yard gain on Hunter Cantwell's play action pass to Laquan Williams. And the Ravens have the ball at the Kansas City 3. Clock is running, 49 seconds left in the game. Anthony Allen is the deep back, Ryan Mahaffey the up back.
Oh boy.
And flags because of a false start.
Gene Steratore. He's prime time tonight.
Talking with John Harbaugh.
Ball start. Offense number 63. Foul inside of 1 minute, carries a 10-second runoff because the clock was running with the foul that prevented the snap. Baltimore's elected to use their second timeout of the half in lieu of a 10-second run. It'll be first down and goal, Baltimore.
I know the Kansas City coaching staff is not real happy at this moment. The long pass and then using the timeout.
Well, we can see Todd Haley's body language screams irritation. Cam Cameron wants to see if he can't get a few more game balls handed out to rookies.
You're right. It's just, these guys are trying to make the team.
Yeah.
Give them the opportunity.
They've worked hard in training camp. They deserve their shot. Anthony Allen is the deep back. Mahaffey the up back. First and goal from the 8. Cantwell off play action. Drifting. In trouble. And he has to throw the ball incomplete out of bounds.
Cantwell pass incomplete.
And the incompletion will stop the clock with 26 seconds left. Setting up a second down and goal from the 8. You know, in these situations, it's understandable the Chiefs would feel like, hey, the Ravens are trying to run the score up. They're not. They're trying to reward their rookies who've worked hard in camp.
They're trying to see some of these rookies making some plays. Now, if this was a regular season, they'd be falling. They'd be taking a knee. There's no doubt about that.
But there's no need to do that here. We'll let them play.
I mean, you don't want to risk them intercepting running back for a touchdown and give him an onside kick and give him a chance.
Give us to Anthony Allen. Cuts inside the 5. Shoulder down, and he'll be stopped at the 1-yard line. Ravens have one timeout left. 16 seconds left on the clock. The clock is running. John Harbaugh is trotting down to the official, and he takes a timeout to stop the clock with 8 seconds left.
It's funny because they seem to be looking.
Third and final charge timeout. Baltimore, a 30-second timeout.
Anthony Allen took the ball from the 8 down to the 1.
He's looked good running the football tonight, that's for sure. You saw that one cut and accelerate. I mean, he's doing a good job getting that ball deep in the backfield. He's not used to that from that wishbone he used to run.
Well, play for Paul Johnson's triple option offense at Georgia Tech, and I mentioned a lot of NFL scouts weren't sure how that would translate into performance in the NFL. He's looked good at times in training camp, but that's hard to get a gauge on. You start to see some runs like that in a game, and there's a guy who very well could find himself on the roster because of his performance here in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Third down and goal, 8 seconds left. Anthony Allen, the deep back. He'll get the carry. Left side, he's in for the touchdown. And another rookie with a play to celebrate tonight as the Ravens find the end zone on back-to-back drives here in the fourth quarter. So Jalen Parmalee was told by Wilbert Montgomery to go find the ball that he scored with, and I'm sure Wilbert Montgomery is going to do the exact same thing for Anthony Allen. And he did. And Anthony Allen has a souvenir for his night's work.
I like Anthony Allen. Let me tell you, I like the way he runs. He runs hard and he runs quick.
Certainly showed the Ravens coaching staff something to consider tonight. Jacob Hartman's extra point attempt is good. 5 seconds left in our game as Anthony Allen carries it in from the 1. He got it to the 1 from the 8. Good patience, found the hole, and just ripped through it into the end zone for the final touchdown of the night for the Ravens, who now lead it 31-13. And running backs coach Wilbert Montgomery has a lot of positive things to talk about with his young running backs. Jalen Parmalee, who's a young veteran, and Anthony Allen, 7th-round draft pick out of Georgia Tech. If you're a 3rd-round draft pick, you know you're going to make the roster. If you're a 7th-round draft pick, there are no guarantees. Take a look at some of the running backs that the Ravens have to consider. Ricky Williams' addition certainly complicated life for some of these guys, but now this is a team that is starting to look fairly deep at the running back position.
Yeah, you know Ray Rice and Ricky Williams are in. Jalen Parmalee does a lot of things. He had the touchdown tonight. I do like Anthony Allen. I mean, he's shown me a lot.
Damian Berry, a rookie free agent from Miami, did not play tonight. But the young players who did, guys like Anthony Allen, took full advantage of their opportunity. Jacob Hartman will kick off. Hartman brought into camp this week to give Billy Cundiff a little bit of rest. DeMond Washington is deep.
Or maybe so they can return kicks.
You know? I'm of the mind, why don't you just have one of the players who can kick the ball about 50 yards to kick off at this point? Hartman's kick will travel 6 yards deep in the end zone, and Washington is not going to bring it out. We just couldn't quite get through one more preseason game without one more touchback, could we?
Yeah, one more
the
non-kickoff return.
That is the touchback. But we got to look tonight at some new impact players on this Ravens offense. Earlier, we saw Lee Evans. In the second half, David Reed showed his explosiveness. And now a last chance for some of the rookies to get one more play on game film.
Nope. They're going to take the knee.
Kansas City Chiefs are going to call it. Maybe. Ricky Stanzi takes the final snap, and that's going to do it. Ravens win it tonight, 31-13 over the Kansas City Chiefs. And they do it with some explosive plays from Lee Evans in the first half, Vontae Leach in the first half, and in the second half, the plays came from the likes of Anthony Allen. Some late game words between John Harbaugh and Todd Haley. Harbaugh explaining his strategy, I'm sure. Haley did not seem very chatty.
No.
Head down to the field. Kadri standing by with Billy Cundiff.
Billy Cundiff, a.k.a. Weapon X. You kicked a 49-yarder this night. Of course, you had the 53-yarder against the Eagles. You look like you're in midseason form.
I feel really good right now. Obviously, we've got a different long snapper. We're still trying to get some rhythm with him. Hopefully next week we'll have Morgan. But right now, for where we're at preseason, I feel really good.
So in regards to just the field goals themselves, you feel that, hey, if it's 50-plus yarder, you're feeling pretty good about the fact that you can make them.
Yeah, we worked a lot on that this last week. I've attempted numerous field goals over 50 yards. We backed all the way 59, 58. Really hasn't mattered. So for me, it's a matter of getting that comfort level, and it's nice to get these out in the game.
As far as the kickoffs are concerned, certainly you tied the NFL record with 40 touchbacks. Now they've moved it up. They've changed the rules. Talk about your feelings on if that's a good strategy as far as the NFL and the rules concerned.
Well, for us, I think it's a good thing. I know that Coach Harbaugh may not agree with me, but I think when you pin them deep consistently, we're getting them closer and closer to the 20-yard line for their average starting position. And last year, the 22-yard line was the average starting position for the #1 team, which is the Falcons, who were #2 at 23. So, Coach. So we're getting closer to that 20-yard line. That's giving our defense, obviously more field You know, on offense, they're going to have the back closer to the goal line. So, I mean, it just makes our defense that much stronger. I think it's a good thing for us, especially long term.
Appreciate your time, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, back to you, Jerry.
Thank you, Q. Billy Cundiff happy. The Ravens happy. Their fans happy. After a 31-13 victory, Ravens over the Chiefs. We invite you to stick around. Post-game coverage is coming up following the Ravens win tonight over the Chiefs here on the Ravens Game Day Network.